You'll find a Mets fan. Let's go. This is a Mets year for all your Mets here. Let's go. Bring it home. Bring it home. Bring it home
exciting, thrilling, awesome. Let's take a look.
What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets here, Rob, for another Mets live stream, Mets versus Cardinals, right here on the channel. Hopefully everybody is having a good Father's Day, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Of course, to all the Met fans that are fathers out there. So hopefully you enjoy your day, spend it with your children, spend it at the game, whatever you're doing on here. And I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me during Father's Day, and hopefully we get a Mets win for all you fathers out there. So once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. And if you're a new subscriber of the channel, say what's up in the chat. And of course, this live stream is in partnership with Say Hello Media. So make sure you follow on Twitter, on Instagram, and definitely check out the newsletter and the blogs and the podcast that is all ready to be coming out very, very shortly. All about the Mets news, rumors, and all that crazy stuff. Every update for scores, everything, go to Say Hello Media. So once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to Talking Mets and Rob. We are about 20 minutes or so until game time, so Mets pregame show starts right now. So the Mets, once again, are in a weird spiral. They look good for 2 games. They look bad for a game. It's like a little back and forth with this team. There's not a lot of consistency with this New York Mets team, specifically in 2023, right? The good news is Pete Alonso has made a amazing recovery within a 10-day period when he was probably projected to be out for 3 to 4 weeks, maybe longer. He's just resilient, and that is great to see. He is in the lineup tonight. Unfortunately, because Pete Alonso is reinstated off the 10-day IL, Mark Vientos has been sent down to AAA Syracuse, and That was probably a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. I know it doesn't make a lot of people happy. I get it. But organizationally, I don't think they truly think that Mark Vientos is going to be a player that this team can use. And it's been obvious, widely speculated that Buck Showalter doesn't like Mark Vientos. I think this is more of an organizational issue. And I think you have to look at last trade deadline when the New York Mets dangled Mark Vientos at the trade deadline to get basically anything they needed, a reliever, a bat, everything that they were trying to get. They used Mark Vientos as one of the chips to bring a piece in to the New York Mets. It should be eye-opening that nobody jumped at the opportunity of Mark Vientos available on the trade market. And that should tell you something. That tells you that not just the Mets don't believe in Mark Vientos, but the other teams, the other 29 teams, don't believe in Mark Vientos. And I can tell you this right now, guys. Mark Vientos, you saw how he was at first base. His hit for a guy who should be a first baseman, possibly a third baseman, his footwork is garbage. And it's a huge problem. He is positionless. And I don't care what type of numbers you have in AAA. And I get the playing time here wasn't enough. But I want everybody to go back to when Francisco Alvarez came up and Brett Beatty came up. They didn't get a lot of playing time either. It was all Escobar and Nito. They were getting sporadic playing time just like Mark Vientos. But the difference with Brett Beatty and Francisco Alvarez was this. When they got those limited playing time and opportunities, they actually produced. When they got the opportunities, they took the starting job from Nito and from Eduardo Escobar. It wasn't given to them, right? So if you look at the first 10 games or so with Beatty and Alvarez, they were on the bench more times than not. Again, not saying I agree with it, but when they got their opportunities, they produced and they took the job, right? There was even reports that Alvarez was going to get sent down when Narvaez was coming back from the IL. So sometimes you have to take the job than someone giving it to you. And you know what? Mark Vientos, the opportunities that he got, he did not take the job. He could have easily took over the DH position when he got the opportunities. Granted, he didn't get a lot of opportunities, but Brett Beatty and Alvarez did not either. They took the opportunity and they ran with it and they took the job. In Vientos' case, he did not. And the bad thing about Vientos is that he's not very much a good utility guy either, because you can't have him on the bench or in any situation where you want him to come in as a defensive replacement late because he sucks defensively. Where are you going to put him? So he's another guy that is one-dimensional. The Mets have too many one-dimensional guys. We can go back to whatever Epler did in the offseason. Vogelback, one-dimensional. Luis Guillorme, one-dimensional. Vientos, one-dimensional. You cannot have too many one-dimensional guys on the bench, because when that situation comes up in the ballgame late in the game, you need a guy to be where you can say, okay, I can pitch hit him and I can put him all around the infield if I need to, or the outfield. The Mets don't have a lot of that. You know, Luis Guillorme is not a guy, yes, he hit a home run yesterday, but he's not a guy that you're looking to pinch hit in the seventh inning, right? He's a defensive replacement, right? The same thing that goes for Vogelback. He is not coming in for a defensive replacement because, well, or a pinch runner because, well, one, he's a big guy. He's not running anywhere. And two, he can't play any position. Vientos falls into that same lineup, the same situation. Yes, Yamid, he hasn't produced yet, but he had his moments. He took the job from Escobar. If you go back to his limited opportunities, he actually produced at that moment, and he got the starting job. The last time Vientos did anything good was that 2-run home run against the Rays in his first at-bat. Now, again, we can argue about all the times he didn't get opportunities, but again, go back to the first 25 to 30 at-bats that Vientos had, and go back to the first 25 to 30 at-bats for Alvarez and Beatty. The numbers are drastically different. Vientos was batting under 100. All right, so let's not act like he wasn't fair. He wasn't getting the fair deal of opportunities. The Mets are also still trying to win. You can't just force feed a player. Like, granted, the Mets force feed Vogelback. I'll give you that. But that is a lost cause. And if you think Vogelback is the main reason why this Mets team is losing, you have not paid attention this entire 2023 season, right? The bigger problem is the pitching. So we can bitch and moan about the lineup, and this team has played 70 games. Go back. Here comes some homework for you guys. Go back. Look at how many games the Mets scored 5 runs or more in a baseball game, and let me know if the lineup is the real issue. Every lineup is going to have a day where they scored 1 run, scored 0 runs, then 5 runs, and then 2 runs, and then 7 runs. Every lineup goes through it. But I'm sorry. The lineup isn't the main issue here, guys. It comes back to the starting pitching. Once again, yesterday, Senga did go at least 6 innings. The Mets are now 19-2 when their starter goes 6 innings or more. So that just shows you, if you get a quality start from your pitcher, at least 6 innings, there's a pretty good chance the Mets are going to win that ball game. The problem is they didn't get a lot of those opportunities. In 70 games, only 21 of them have been a quality start from your pitcher, 6 innings or more. That is why this team is losing. It is not about the lineup. It's not even about the bullpen, because the big guys in the bullpen, Ottavino, Raley, and Robertson, have been, for the most part, very, very good. Robertson has been great. Raley has been very good. Ottavino has been good, not great. You admit it. That's not the point, though. The point is, then if that's the case, wouldn't it be easier for Vientos to take it from Vogelback? Because Vogelback is worse than Escobar and Tomas Nido. At least Tomas Nido and Escobar can play good defensively. So that means Vientos is even worse than those two guys because of the fact he didn't take that job from Daniel Vogelback. JL, Steve Cohen didn't spend money on washed up plays. Here's the problem that the problem that I don't understand from people. What were the Mets supposed to do? Everybody, I don't know one Met fan that was clamoring to say our number 2 starter had to be Nathan Eovaldi. Nobody was saying that. What were they supposed to do? They got no pitching in their farm system that was ready for this year or even next year, right? They were relying on David Peterson and Tyler McGill to be the back end of the rotation starters, right? The Mets had no choice but to spend money. This is where the people was like, the Mets didn't spend money because they felt like it and didn't want to give the kids a chance. Who were they supposed to get, right? The last time I checked, I heard the Blue Jays, I heard the Giants, I heard the Yankees wanted to go after Verlander, right? So this is not, the Mets weren't the only team that were ready to spend money on Verlander. The same thing that goes for Max Scherzer. Until Max Scherzer signed with the New York Mets, the LA Dodgers were supposed to be all over him, and they were one of the last 2 teams involved with the Mets. I agree, man. I don't like Vogie either. I've said that since last year. Again, but the Vogelback's fan squad will tell you about the on-base percentage, which is pointless to me when a guy that can't do anything on the base pad. But the whole point of the matter is, if people continue to speak about money, how are those Yankees doing, right? Without Judge, and they're the second highest payroll in baseball, they don't have nobody in their lineup besides Stanton and Rizzo. So a team that has a $283 million payroll without Judge is basically a 500 team, if not worse. So, and again, I showed you the stat the other day. The top 7 payrolls in baseball, there was only 2 teams that were in a playoff spot, and both were a wild card. It was the Dodgers and it was the Yankees. And at this point, the Yankees are tied for the last wild card spot. So this isn't only the Mets' problem. And that is the issue that I understand people are saying, well, this team, let me see something. The Mets, for the first month and probably the first month and a half of the season, 4 out of their 5 guys were not in the rotation. Did I find another team that actually had that type of problem? Nobody else. For the most part, the majority of those teams that we were talking about in top payrolls had the majority of their rotation. The Mets had four out of the 5 out of the rotation. That's a problem. Verlander didn't come back until May. Scherzer got 10-game suspension, so he missed about 2 or 3 starts. Right? Carrasco was out. Quintana didn't start the season. It's very hard to get on a good run when your rotation hasn't been here. And it's not saying that the rotation would have been good if they were healthy anyway. But we also have to look at it that way as well, right? So nobody wants to talk about that, but everybody's supposed to give excuses for the Phillies, the Padres, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees, right? Everybody's giving them excuses. Oh, when Judge comes back. Okay. Like, let's not stop. Let's try to not make excuses. Everybody wants to make no excuses for the Mets, but for every other team that has a high payroll, it's excuses galore. But that's okay. And that is the problem that I have. I don't understand what the Mets were supposed to do. If you can tell me, what were the Mets supposed to do with that money besides what they did? They re-signed Brandon Nimmo. Remember, and people want to kill Epler. What did they do in this bullpen? They re-signed Ottavino, which everybody was on board for. They traded for Brooks Raley that nobody had on their radar. And they signed David Robertson when Diaz was still the closer. So that's 4 guys right there that you automatically trust. Because Diaz went down basically 2 weeks before the deadline, before the season started, everybody who was relevant in the bullpen that you could have signed was already off the board. You can't predict an injury, right? The Mets, how many Met fans wanted DeGrom, right? I guess Epler made a good move there because he signed Verlander. At least Verlander pitches every 5th day, because if the Mets would have signed DeGrom, people would have destroyed Epler when he had that Tommy John surgery. At least Verlander is pitching. He's not pitching great, but at least he's pitching. And then we're going to look at it. Brandon Nimmo. Everybody wanted Brandon Nimmo, right? Not really me, but everybody wanted Brandon Nimmo, right? We re-signed him. The Mets had to sign a whole new rotation. No matter if they brought back everybody from last year or brought back new guys like they did. No matter what, they had to sign rotation arms because they had none coming up the system. And that goes to Brody Van Wagenen and Sandy Alderson, not Billy Epler. Billy Epler had 1 draft. Sandy Alderson had 1 million drafts, and Brody Van Wagenen had 2 drafts. So when you don't have any starting pitching in the pipeline, how are you going to fill out a rotation without either trades, which the Mets weren't going to give a lot of prospects for big arms? So there's one other option, guys. Signing players. Signing pitchers. That's the only way they can get there. And I don't remember Eduardo Rodriguez or Nathan Eovaldi or Andrew Haney or Jameson Tyone was everybody's first choice other than Verlander, because that would have been just as bad. You could say Chris Bassett, fine. But Kodai Senga has just as good as the ERA as Bassett did last year. And Chris Bassett would be good, but would Chris Bassett really help this rotation if Verlander, Scherzer, Carrasco, and Quintana are not doing well or not pitching at all? There's your problem. And that is the problem. That's what we have to remember. People just think, oh, look at the payroll. But what were the Mets supposed to do? That's what I don't understand. So we shouldn't have signed Brandon Nimmo and let's, get a random guy and not spend $20 million on a center fielder? It's a lot of reasons for this, guys. And that was the whole thing. The Mets had no bullpen. Remember, Ottavino, Lugo, right? Robinson wasn't on this team. There was a lot of relievers. The Mets basically had 2 or 3 guys that they were going to put in this bullpen and everybody else was free agents along with the starting rotation. So that's at least 6 guys from bullpen and rotation that the Mets had to fill. Their pitching in the farm system's arms are not there yet. Maybe next year we might see Vasil up there, maybe Hamill, or maybe even one of those I'm sorry, I'm blanking out right now. But probably most likely Mike Vasil is probably going to be up, maybe get a chance to make this rotation next year. So that's the problem. That was the problem that people just wanted to overlook. Like the Mets were supposed to not spend money when the majority of their rotation were free agents. DeGrom opted out. Bassett was a free agent. Walker was a free agent. Carrasco was a free agent. So where were the Mets supposed to go? And Tidwell, thank you, Tilly. That was the other guy that I was thinking of. Blade Tidwell. And that is the problem that nobody wants to bring up. What were the Mets supposed to do? Even if they brought back DeGrom, Bassett, Walker, and brought back Lugo and everybody else, Trevor Williams, all the pitching arms that everybody loved last year, if they would have brought them back, it would have been basically the same amount of money for a rotation along with Verlander. Because I can assure you right now, if people would have bought Chris Bassett as your number 2, people would have ape shit. So let's not act like we were clamoring for Chris Bassett to come back after them stupid comments he made. And the 2 biggest games of his life, he failed the Braves and the Padres games. So remember why the Mets had to spend that money. They didn't spend it because, it made Cohen feel better and he wanted to, throw his money up in the air. There's a reason for it, right? Cohen's not stupid. He's not a guy that made $14 billion and thinks he just throws money around just because. He's not that stupid, all right? When you have to fill 4 guys in your rotation for free agency because you have nothing in the pipeline, that's going to cost you a lot of money. And then you have to get everybody in your bullpen. Lugo was going to be a starter. We knew that. So you ain't going to sign him. So you had to revamp your bullpen. That costs money. You had to re-sign Brandon Nimmo, right? We all forget about that one. So, and there was a lot to do. And at the moment, nobody really knew if Alvarez was ready to be big time as a catcher yet. So let's not act like we knew that. So Omar Narvaez was a smart signing at the time because nobody really knew if Alvarez was as good as advertised. No, Michael, Walker looks like shit. All right. He has a 4.5 ERA, and his best start of the year was against the Oakland A's, his last start. All right. When you have a 4.5 ERA, when you were a Met, you had a 3.5 ERA. That's not better than what you have. Carrasco has a 4.5 ERA. So it ain't that good after all. Bassett, yes. But Bassett is a guy that was mentally weak. He had a good season, but Seng is having just as good a season when you look at ERA-wise. Now, Bassett throws more innings. That's great. The Met game starts. It should have started 140, but it's a little late. So as soon as the game starts, yeah, I can. Brooks Raley was a good trade. The Chris Bassett trade was a good trade because everybody, remember, he traded JT Ginn to the Oakland A's. Have you seen JT Ginn minor league stats? Last year was 6.5. He has a 12 ERA this year, so it wasn't that bad. So trades weren't so bad, right? Brooks Raley that nobody even thought about. That was a good trade, right? That was pretty good. The only 2 trades that were really bad was Vogelback and Ruff. Let's be honest. That was the 2 trades. He's made good trades in the offseason. Those were pretty good. That Chris Bassett trade came out of nowhere. That was a solid trade. But his trades were good. But I don't know what people keep on saying, oh, look at all the money the Mets spent. Let me know which other way you were going to go. I didn't hear people talking about Nathan Eovaldi as your number 2 starter. Right? I don't remember Eduardo Rodriguez or Andrew Haney or Jamison Tyone as guys that the Mets fans wanted. And if you look at their numbers, they're not that good. So where were the Mets going? Bring back Taijuan Walker. He has a 4.5 ERA. Even though I think he would be better with the Mets because I even said he was going to have a closer to a 5 ERA when he pitches just as much at Citizens Bank Park. Right? So besides Chris Bassett, which I still think would have been a bad signing because I think he's mentally soft, it showed in the 2 biggest games of the year. So that's something we will see. So the Met game's about to start. You guys know the deal. I'm going to share my screen just now so we can get game day ready to go, and then we'll be ready to go. Chris, what's up, buddy? I'm sorry, I missed your. I saw your comments. Just give me a second, guys. I will get you ready to go. There we go. All right, guys. So here's the first pitch. Listen up. There we go, guys.
Started the first game of the series at second base. Yesterday in right field. Today playing first base. Jack of all trades, hitting 259, and he smacks one out to left. Toward the line comes Cannon. He won't get there. He goes to the
And that should be a leadoff double. And Cannon took like kind of a weird route to that ball.
Well, that's a slicer right there. A left-handed slice off the fairway, just sliced away from Cannon here. Got the same kind of hit in the second at bat in yesterday's ball game. So Carrasco had all sorts of base runners against him in Pittsburgh. With 6 hits and 3 walks in 4 2/3 as a median base runner and the reigning National League MVP at the plate. Goldschmidt 2 for 8 in this series, including a home run yesterday.
All right, let's see if Carrasco can get out of a quick early jam in the first.
Carrasco against the breaking ball in for a strike. Well, he used to win Buffalo there. That's up to right into the seats, and he's that strong. 12 home runs, 19 doubles. 10th in the league in on-base percentage, having another good year.
Come on, Cookie.
Right up to the standard of his MVP season last year. And a check swing foul on the changeup, and it's 0-2. But we're getting close. I always used to look, Gary, get to the 300 at bats. And we're getting close to it now, the amount of games played, everyday players. It's hard to budge that line of that batting average up or down when you get over that 300 ABs. All Arenado on deck. Carrasco ahead 0-2 on Goldschmidt. And he misses with the changeup, and it's 1-2. Cardinals are one of 4 teams that Carlos Carrasco has never beaten. The 2 he played for, Cleveland and the Mets. And the Cardinals and the Dodgers are the teams he's never beaten. This is inside. It's 2-2. Cardinals are trying to win a series for the first time since Lamette. They finally got a save. It's been a while since they got a save. They've blown so many leads this year. Jordan Hicks hadn't saved a game in 4 years before his Tommy John surgery.
And he struck out Goldschmidt on a curveball. Nice pitch. Slider, excuse me. Nice. That backdoor slider for Carrasco, he's thrown that a lot ever since he's come back from the IL. It's a nice pitch. It ties up the hitter, especially right-handers.
Still tied for 7th in the National League with 45 runs driven in.
Uh-oh, that's gone. 2-0 Cardinals. Arenado. Left the hanger up. 2-0 Cards. Woo. Well, you don't leave that to alone, Arenado. Woo. Well, can't leave those hanging breaker balls to great hitters. Yeah, oh my lord. That is called the cement mixer. Woof. That ball was right on the tee, guys. Well, you said it. You got to score some runs.
So 2-0 St. Louis. Here's Nolan Gorman.
Wow.
And he takes a fastball at the knees for a strike. Gorman is also hitless in the series and 0 for his last 15. He's a big, strong kid, I'll tell you that. It's interesting that we're going to show the home run one more time, and here it is coming right at you. Just a little helicopter didn't break.
Well, he was trying to get that a little bit more inside just to see if he can tie him up, but That was a cement mixer.
14th career home run against the Mets.
Well, Carrasco's first inning struggles continue. Mets entering today 4.94 starters ERA, third worst in the National League. So,
Well, it's kind of been everybody's.
you know, somebody brought up a good point today on WFAN with what was it, with the Miami Marlins, and I'll tell you that in a second. It's popped up. Should be 2 outs, right to Canna. 2 outs. So, the Miami Marlins, and somebody brought up a great point that they're very similar to the 2021 Mets. And why do I say that? Because the Mets in 2021, while they were in first place, I know the Marlins are not in first place, but while they were in first place, and actually I'll bring this up once the inning's over. So 2-0 Cardinals, Nolan Arenado, first inning, 2-run homer, 2 outs.
Yeah, the opening game Friday night. Carrasco misses away with the fastball for ball 1.
Yeah, last afternoon, I should say, it was a strong wind that was blowing out to right field. It's blowing pretty good today.
Blowing in that direction, not quite as hard as yesterday. And the change up inside 2-0.
Beautiful crowd on Father's Day.
It looks like a sellout on the Sunday afternoon.
Notice that it's front foot, what Walker does with that front foot. A little hit there by Walker. Foul, and then hit the back again.
Only the first one counts.
Nice crowd. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Would it be great as a pitcher if you got 2 strikes?
Oh, I love it. Pitching zone.
Like the old Bugs Bunny cartoon. 1, 2, 3 strikes. 1, 2, 3 strikes.
The Bugs Bunny changeup. Never gets there. When he strides, it's
Come on,
a small
Cookie.
stride,
Let's
and
go.
he never closes. He steps in the bucket just a little bit. Just so strong.
Nice pitch. That's a good, nice slider right there.
Carrasco gets the swinging strike 3-2.
Very much open like a Lindor from the left side, and Lindor the same strides, slightly in the bucket.
For Walker, who just a few weeks ago turned 21 years old.
There's a new pop up.
Second time. He's a drill down.
It's the best.
3-2.
Ooh, just low to walk Walker. So until the inning, until the batter comes up. So the Marlins, similar to the Mets, even when the Mets were winning the division in 2021 for a decent amount of time, the Mets at that time in 2021 had a negative run differential. The Marlins, as good as they're playing, has a negative run differential, and that is something that usually takes a toll later in the season. That the team will come back to earth because it's very hard to continue to be over 500 with a negative run differential. So, not saying that it's possible because the Marlins are playing well, but it's always interesting because every team that has a negative run differential is the worst teams in the league. And even the Mets have a better run. They're in the positive in run differential than the Marlins. They have a better run differential in the positive, unlike the Marlins, who are negative. Well, it's 21 pitches, so yeah, he might not. But his first inning is usually his worst inning. So it's not shocking, to be honest.
You didn't have to. The ball was always in play. So whatever ball you got was always chafed and plenty of mud on it. You always had good grip. For some reason, I feel that the balls, they give all the balls away, and so many balls have got to be rubbed down before a game. I think that there wasn't that many balls, and the balls were rubbed down better before the game started.
Come on, Cookie. Oh, where was that pitch? Jeez.
It was the home plate. You could tell as a pitcher what umpire had taken care of the baseballs before the game, just by how they were run.
Ken Rosell, rookie umpire, behind the plate today. Carlson fouls off the fastball, and it's 3-2.
It's a pretty tedious job think about it. Back when the home plate umpire had to rub those balls down. But as part of
You grab the ball, you grab a little dab of the ball, you rub the ball, you put it back in. It takes 3 seconds.
it gets great. It's the amount of balls.
It used to be 6 dozen, it's probably 12 dozen now.
It's a meditative exercise, Gary.
It's a
24 pitches for Carrasco in the first with 2
You
outs.
guys sign balls, it's the same thing. 3-2 to Carlson, and it's on the inside.
And he calls that one strike 3. That was low to the other batter, but calls it on Carlson. So the Mets trail 2-0 after a 2-run home run by Nolan Arenado. They don't have a negative run differential. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Give me a second. Let me find out. Let's see. All right, here we go. That's right. I'm sorry about that. That's what I was trying to say. I'm sorry. I looked at it earlier. That's on my. Yeah, we have a minus 20 run differential, and the Miami Marlins have a minus 26 run differential. So, yeah. So again, it just to show, like it's actually amazing, right? Like the bad teams, like look, you can consider the Mets not very good right now, right? You got the Phillies, Cardinals, Milwaukee, Mets, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Look, Pittsburgh and Miami, 2 teams that are wild card teams, and possible Pittsburgh with division are 21st and 23rd in run differential, and they're in the negative. So it just shows you, right? It's a weird stat, right? I mean, if you look at the run differential, you think the Marlins and the Pirates shouldn't be where they are right now, right? Both teams over 500. I think the Pittsburgh is at 500 or a game over 500, and we know the Marlins are 7-8 games over 500. So they're pretty good, and that is the weird thing. So the most important thing for the Mets here is the pitching. It's always been the pitching. So that's the hope. I don't know what Vientos can get us because George, the game is on. It's in commercial, buddy. Oh, like game on TV wise, like picture? No, I can't do that. That's copyright. I can give you the sound. That's the best I can do. That's why game day is up, so you get a visual. Here we go. First pitch to Nimmo.
Here, especially on the road. Brandon Nimmo hit the first pitch by Adam Wainwright out of the ballpark yesterday. This time he takes the first pitch fastball for a strike.
And JL, that's why there's hope.
Brandon's been on base 11 straight games.
Ground ball right to second base. 1 out.
Throws him out of the way.
2 up and in fastballs back to back, coupled up on Brandon. It's weird there. Nimmo has a little late and had to kind of rush into the box. For pitch number 1, always would have been penalized for pitch time.
So 1 out is Charlie Marte is working on an 8-game hitting streak.
Yeah, his bats come alive, and I'm so happy to see him up in the number 2 spot again. 314 against left-handers so far this season.
Torres for this curveball. That's his signature pitch. Opposing hitters are 1 for 13 against Torres' curveball so far. Still away with it again. It's 2-1.
Throw his fastball between 92 and 95. That curveball about a quarter of the time.
Working quickly. And Marte takes it.
Ground ball. Oh, it's a nice play by the second baseman. 2 outs. Hit hard by Marte. But unfortunately for the Mets, second baseman made a nice sliding play.
Better play well when Lipitor starts a game. They've been friends since they were 5 years old in Arizona.
Played together, played against each other. They were going to go to the University of Arizona together, and then they both got drafted out of high school.
That ball came up on him, too. Got a good jump, but the ball had an up hop on him. That was a good recovery on his part. Nice play.
Francisco Lindor gets the bat from his better side with the left-hander on the mound. He's hitting 244 as a right-hand batter, only 198 as a left-hand hitter.
And Lindor gone. Goodbye. Right field, baby. Left field, baby. There we go. Right-handed Francisco Lindor, as always. The best swing he has is in the right-hand batter's box, and he hits a solo home run to cut the lead in half. 2-1 Cardinals. God, I love Lindor's swing right-handed. 2-1 Cardinals. There you go, Francisco. Good job.
13th home run of the year. His 8th as a right-hand batter, and it cuts the Cardinal lead to 2-1. Left this ball out on the inner half. He likes the ball.
I always loved Lindor's swing right-handed. Nice and level. Little bit of uppercut. Just a beautiful swing. And here's our boy Pete Alonso back from the 10-day IL cleaning up.
He no longer leads the major leagues in home runs, overtaken by Shohei Ohtani.
Beautiful swing. Look at that level swing with a little bit of uppercut. Come on, Pete.
Curveball outside of Alonso, 2-1.
Coming into the start, they faced 98 batters and only allowed 1 home run.
It's been pretty vulnerable to the right-hand hitters, though. They're getting 317 against him coming into the day. Now, he's pretty straight.
Good eye by Pete.
And he's not overpowered.
Reminds me of a young Frank Viola, just body type and the way his arm slot is.
24 years old. Behind on Alonso, 3-1. And he
Oof.
had a good swing left there.
He was ready for that fastball right middle in. Lindor showed a lot of emotion hitting that home run. You know that's a guy that's extremely pissed the way he's been playing. Come on, Pete. Alonso. Look, you can see Alonso is a little bit behind that fastball. A little bit underneath. I mean, not shocked. Not a lot of live pitching since he's been on the IL, so you should expect that. But he's on the pitch, fouling it back. Come on, Pete. Oof, nasty curveball. And Pete Alonso strikes out, but not before Francisco Lindor gets the Mets on the board with a solo home run to left field. And, of course, it is Lindor hitting another home run right-handed. I don't know why this guy ever bats left-handed. Batting right-handed is his natural swing. You can tell just by the way he swings, just the level swing with a little bit of uppercut just makes him protect the entire strike zone, and you see what he can do right-handed. So Lindor comes back after his wife gave birth yesterday to his second daughter and hits a home run for the Mets. And you saw the pure emotion from Lindor right there. And he knows he is not playing well, right? Yes, the home runs are kind of there, the RBIs are there, but you can't bat 210 and call yourself, a star in the league or, one of the better shortstops in the league by hitting 210. You hit 250 with 25 home runs, close to 30, and 100 RBIs. That's a good season. Other than that, it's not even worth talking about until he gets that average up. And again, the home runs are nice, but I need to see Lindor, which he's been great at throughout his career, is being a gap-to-gap hitter. Hit those gaps. The home runs will come. So that's what I want to see from Lindor. Again, right-handed, I don't worry about. It's left-handed where when he steps in the bucket, swings extremely hard, and has a pure uppercut, launch angle swing, which does not really work for him, unfortunately. So don't forget to hit on that like button, guys. Once again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hopefully you're enjoying your day. And, of course, if you're hanging out with me during this Mets game, I do appreciate that. So let's see if the Mets can get a W for all the Mets fans, fathers out there. So here we go, guys. Top of the second, 2-1 Cardinals.
St. Louis, as we start the second, all the young leads off. And Sky's one on the
First pitch, popped it up.
McNeil
McNeil under it, and there you go.
pitch, one out for Carrasco in the second. We're on the majors, brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. We mentioned Shohei Ohtani having an extraordinary year with the bat and with the arm. I mean, he won the MVP 2 years ago. Only the historic year by Aaron Judge kept him from winning it again last year, and he would not bet against him winning another this year.
Red hot offensively for June, just tearing it up. Funny you say that, Jerry. He's minus 400 for his MVP odds. But he's number one in MLB with home runs, extra base hits, total bases, and tied in RBIs.
Wow. And what's he, third in strikeouts?
Yeah.
Somewhere there. It's just so far off the charts. It's almost
Come on, Cookie, let's go.
Wrap your brain
Get that offense back up there.
Kids are the backup catcher getting the start today. Lifetime 209 hitter.
Thank you, JL.
He takes a strike.
Sorry, I just saw that comment now. I apologize.
His 27th start, backing up Wilson Contreras.
Ground ball.
And
Tough play, just foul.
So Ohtani may have led around.
Once again, guys, don't forget tonight, 8 o'clock, the Shea Bridge Show. Me and Hayden will be going over the past week, the Yankees and Cardinals series, and we're going to be previewing the Astros and Phillies series on tonight's show, 8 p.m. So make sure you're there to hang out and have a conversation with us and see our thoughts of the prior week with the Yankees and the Cardinals, and to see what to look forward with the Phillies and the Astros. Ground ball right to Escobar. Should be 2 outs. Oh, Escobar throws it away. Bad throw by Escobar. That is an error on Escobar. That is extra pitches your pitcher does not have to throw. Usually don't see that from Escobar throwing.
He could have leaped for this ball. He had plenty of time.
No, that wasn't as high as I thought. I think Alonso, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a good throw. Alonso should have, I don't know what happened, but bad throw by Escobar.
The last 6 weeks. They're now 22nd in the majors in defensive runs saved and dropping. Here's Tommy Edman, the number 9 hitter. And again, he's batting right-handed against a right-hander. We saw him do it yesterday against Senga with his forkball, and I guess with Carrasco's changeup, Edman likes that look as well.
Remember in the 9th inning yesterday with a big steal, once he got on, he beat that double play attempt at first base, stole second, stole a run, an extra insurance run for the Cardinals.
Whether Edman is one of those guys who's trending toward giving up a switch hit.
It's funny, you and I were talking about it. When I see a guy like Edman not against the knuckleball, bat right-handed, my first thought is, he might be giving up the left side. I think about that all the time about the Albies because he's so different, his numbers. And Edman's numbers are also much better right-handed hitter.
Although Albies been hitting better left-handed lately, Edman's hitting was 193 left-handed this year, 297 right-handed. And now 2 days in a row back righty on righty. And Carrasco behind him 3-1 with Brendan Donovan on deck. Carrasco giving up so many base runners lately. Last thing in the world he needs is errors made behind him. That's it sharp foul. 3-2.
That is a shot.
Interesting shot that John got for us. Glenn Sherlock giving all the signs to Francisco Alvarez. He and Francisco developed a nice relationship, friendship, really. And you need that as your young player with the coach who's in charge of the catchers.
Kids are not a fast man at first. 3-2, 1 out.
Come on, Cookie, let's go.
Good contact hitter. And Carrasco will check in on Kinzer. Carrasco gave up 2 runs in the first inning. His first inning ERA is now 9.0. The rest of the game, 4.17. A lot more respectable. And Kinzer 2 early, and Carrasco didn't step off. And then it's 1-4 to Edman.
Carrasco had to step off there. Everybody, you heard it.
You saw against the Yankees. Why is nobody yelling for Carrasco to step up?
They were yelling, Gary. They were yelling. He just never made a reaction. I think what has evolved here with the benches calling the throwovers by pitchers over the course of the last many years is that pitchers, if they're not throwing over on their own, have no feel for the guy is leading off first or taking off from first.
Sometimes the pitcher just freezes.
Yeah, you're right. They're so focused on.
All right, so big chance here. You got to be careful. The error with Escobar is making Carrasco throw more pitches.
Somebody's got to be able to step up.
It's amazing that he was throwing from the windup. If you're a left-handed pitcher, before you start your windup, you have to look at the runner on third. That's the 100% every single time. Because if you catch the eyes of the runner, when he's on third dancing around, just look into his eyes. You'll catch him. He'll stop. And that's when you pitch.
Well, especially a left-hander, your back is the whole plate when you wind up. It's hard to understand why you do that, but the other piece of it is, as Donovan hits from the middle for
And that is a base hit, and that is going to score the third run of the ball game for the Cardinals. Errors kill. Errors kill.
So the error proves costly. Donovan cashes it in.
The slider that just kind of didn't break, stayed right down and in the middle.
Good piece of hitting by Carlson.
Edmund, I don't know if Edmund had to hesitate. He wasn't Kistner. He's looking at the lead runner.
He didn't want to pull the demo.
Errors kill. Errors kill. Again, Carrasco would have had 2 outs and nobody on if it wasn't for the error for Escobar.
Before you hit the third.
Don't really help your pitcher there.
One out is Goldschmidt. He struck out his first time up. Goes after the changeup, 0-1. With Carrasco's velocity down today, there's only about a 3-mile-an-hour difference between his fastball and his changeup.
That's that changeup from the right hand. Remember, Ottavino struck him out with a nasty one last night. Struck out Goldsmith last at bat.
Dials away. Firmer fastball that time for Carrasco, 22. I was going to say about Morelli, I think what people don't understand when they saw that pitch up in if you hit the batter, then it negates the
It's dead.
It's dead ball. It's dead. And it certainly appeared as though that was Morelli's intent once you realized that Connor Falefa was coming home.
There's coconut, though. The problem, though, if you're a left-handed pitcher with a left-handed batter, you do not throw at the batter. You throw outside and high. That way, it leads your catcher into the base runner. You'll be waiting for the ball for the base runner to play.
The batter away. Goldschmidt laces.
How the hell did he hit that ball? Holy Christ.
Donovan turning third. He's going to head on in.
And that is a 2-0 RBI double for Goldschmidt. 5-1 Cardinals. Yeah, that wasn't a bad pitch by Carrasco. That was ankle high. And he still got to that ball. Look at that pitch. That ball was near the ground. Oof, look at that. That's good pitch. Good piece of hitting.
You know, it's not a pitch you want to throw. It's down the middle, but still, it's good hitting. It's good hitting.
So, Mets got to use their offense to come back in this ball game. Well, they started with the Escobar error, where it would have been 2 outs and nobody on, and we've seen this year, especially with the Mets, if you make an error and make your pitches pitch more, you're in trouble. John Curtis is warming up in the bullpen for the Mets.
Remember that the Mets bullpen is short a man with the suspension to Drew Smith. And also, the Mets no longer have the 2 guys who gave them length out of the bullpen. Steven Legosic is now an Arizona Diamondback. Tommy Hunter has been released. So they've got guys who really can't go more than an inning, 2/3, 2 innings at a time in that pen, which makes it hard if your starter gets knocked out early. 0-2 to Arenado.
He didn't like that call.
Now with a 2-run homer his first time up is 14. Goldschmidt at second, still only 1 out. And Arenado goes.
And that ball is fouled.
Stay at the bat.
All right, Michael.
Look at that. Beautiful eyes. Is that your first game, Slugger?
And the best part about it is doesn't care that the Mets are down 5.
No, it's got the Mets jersey on.
Probably some ice cream in the office too.
Young man, learn to strike zone. Maybe a nap.
Did he go?
Arenado holds the swinging.
And he swung. 2 outs. Should have been out of the inning a long time ago. Very interesting. If you're looking at the Cardinals hats, caps, they got the blue logo, the baby blue logo, and the Mets have a blue glow around their orange logo, which is kind of weird. I think it would look better with the orange, with the light blue look to it, but guess not.
No.
He's an intense player. Nolan Gorman flat out to left his first time up. Fastball strike 1-1. Mets baseball brought to you by the Rehab Doctor for free home improvement estimate. Call 800-600-5400.
Another player more than Roman at home plate umpire. So him, Mertzel, geez, the umpire all over. I don't think he's made some bad calls. I mean, the borderline is a pitcher's umpire. You know, I was telling you guys this before, about a month ago, the last series of the Cards won. It was against, got to talk to Dave Roberts. So what's up with the Cardinals? He said, I don't care what their record is. They're a good team. And so April and May, you can't win a division. Maybe you might have taken yourself out of it. But that's how he felt.
Nice. Strike 3 call, strike 3 swinging, and not before the Cardinals score 3 more runs in the second. 5-1 Cardinals. Okay, Ray. 70 games. Sorry. Doesn't work like that. Again, I do agree. I do know for a fact, and it's pretty obvious. 2 weeks to the end of the month, well, give or take. That's usually the time when July 1st comes around and you're about 90 games into the season and you see where we are. I always believe, especially now, even when there was only 2 wildcard teams, now 3. If you're 3 games from a wildcard spot, no matter which wildcard spot, at least the last one, if you're 3 games from a wildcard spot, I think you try to go for it. If you're anything more than that, 4 games is kind of, go one way or the other. I won't be mad either way if you sell or you buy. If you're 3 games from a wild card spot, you should go for it just because of the fact that if you haven't been paying attention to baseball, all you got to do is get in nowadays and just get hot at the right time. It's just the way it's been now. But again, I do agree with you. You got you got 2 weeks here. You got about another 14, 15 games where you're almost on the border of 90 games where you have to decide because the Mets, David Robertson is a huge piece at a deadline. He's been one of the better relievers in the game. He's closing in New York. He got back Ben Brown, the Cubs got for him from the Phillies farm system, who is the top 5 in the Cubs prospect farm system now. So, you can get something pretty damn good for Robinson the Mets are going to be looking for pitching if that becomes the case. So here we go, guys. Bottom of the second, the Mets down by 4 runs.
That's
Too much sugar too early.
Sun, crash, a lot of sun. Oh, he's waking up a little.
Johnny Pham leads off in the home second and takes up and away from Matthew Liberatore. Now has a 5-1 lead. Pham hitting .348 over his last 14 games, 3 for 8 in this series.
I agree, Tom. It's been a rough one.
DHing today, and he takes a strike 1-1.
Dan Barzell likes the ball down. Hunt strikes down, doesn't like to pitch up.
It's away 2-1. Torres' velocity is down today. Yeah, he's not throwing hard. His average fastball velocity this season.
Well, the Mets got to do start getting on base here and try to get back into this ball game. That's you got to hit your way to a win today. And that's right to the Jesus Christ. Another hard hit shot.
Did that yesterday. They had a lot of hard ground.
First inning, two hard hit balls right at somebody, and Pham hit a shot right to the shortstop. And for anybody who cares about exit velocity, you shouldn't care. Just so everybody knows that. Says we need to restock for some young arms. I agree, but you also just can't start selling 70 games into the season either. You just can't do that. You know, that's a big detriment to Brody Van Wagenen and Sandy Olson, who wanted to, you know, draft shortstops for like 7 years straight. And, you know, that's what happens. But
I like Alvarez down in this sixth hole.
exactly, Mo. I just was thinking that. Well, just not quite that. That might be a little bit of trouble, though. Nobody got that. Oh, we got it. Woo! That was some trouble. That sun is rough at City.
A lot of unhappiness between Gorman and DeYoung, and Edmund made sure that it did not get Portland.
He took charge a couple times yesterday.
You know, we can restock some arms. That's fine. But when you get 2 weeks until July. This is my. Well, yes, exactly. But he was a pitcher at the end of his Stetson career, so he was actually a starter when they drafted him. So he did start at Stetson his last year. So, but again, it comes back to the same thing. You know, you can't just sell because, you know, it's 70 games into the season and, you know, you're not playing well. You just can't do that. You know, I always said this. I said this for years. If you're within 3 games of a wild card spot, you try to go for it. That's just me. I'm not saying, you know, give up your farm system to get better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, you know, give up Mauricio for a mid-level bullpen arm or a mid-level starter. But if you can get better by not giving up too much, you go for it. Because you've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, all you got to do is just get in. And then anything can happen. You know, you got the second and third wildcard team last year in the Padres and Phillies making the NLCS last year. Things can happen quickly. But they also have to play better. And they got 2 weeks to do so. We'll see if Escobar can make up for his mistake and probably hit one over the wall.
That almost got his bat on the bottom side. Escobar shoots one foul. It's 0-2. That's just part of the uniform. I get it.
Yep.
Escobar in the lineup against the left-hand pitcher for good reason. He's had good right-handed swings this year.
Escobar hits one to center field. Edmonds going to catch that one. And he missed it. Run. That should score a run. And the Mets get a run on the board, and Escobar gets to third base. So the Mets get a break there. 5-2 Cardinals. Edmund went back, had his glove on it, but could not catch it. So the Mets get a break here. 2-out RBI from Escobar. And the Mets trying to get back into this ball game with their offense. He had it, but the ball bounced out of his glove. Looked like it hit the tip of his glove. He was on it. All right, so man on third with 2 outs. Another 2-out RBI waiting there for Canna. Well, at the very least, see if the offense can win a game for us today when the pitching is not showing up once again. Well, you could say that, but it's the second inning. Like, the amount of people that just call games is hilarious nowadays. Like, oh, the season is over. And then we sweep the Phillies and everybody's back on board. It doesn't work like that, guys. It's the second inning, and the Mets are actually hitting this pitcher. Now, again, it's not like the pitching has been good for the Mets, but the Mets have been scoring runs. So you never know.
They watch the video and they score every play. And I think that's probably the fairest way to
see if Canada can get a 2-out RBI here.
Edmonds runs well, and he plays. What do you think? Do you think he's playing a normal center field? Yeah. It's not overly deep. It's not overly shallow. So I would, if I'm inexperienced, it's much easier to come in. I would kind of edge to play a little deeper than normal.
Oof, that was a nasty curveball. That ball started on the outside corner, eye high, and dropped inside to his ankles. That's, oh my God, that's a nasty curveball. Oof.
It's interesting.
Canada took a pitch outside.
Played their corner outfielder shallow.
Yeah, Mike, I agree with that.
But right field, Carlson's playing very shallow right field.
You don't have any problem playing opposite fielder shallow, but when you play the full fielder shallow, that's what.
Canada can pop the ball.
Canada took a curveball, full count.
I just think that I would prefer. I always feel, Gary, you get beat more in the gaps. I just hate to see gaps wide open. I don't know how you tell a pitcher right. I like my guys' shallow work. I felt like if I gave up the ball over the head, it's on me.
And that's ball 4 to Canada. So the Mets are getting the tying run to the plate with Brandon Nimmo coming up in the bottom of the second. That's right, guys. It's only the bottom of the second, and 7 runs have been scored already. So no game is done yet.
You can't use that as a rule, because some outfielders, they're comfortable at a certain place.
Strawberry Fields forever.
Oh, I took the words out of my mouth. Daryl's going to be fuming at you.
Better be the QT.
Oh,
Another nice curveball.
All of a sudden, he's dropping a little 11 to 5 on everybody here. That's a big hook.
Nimmo grounded out his first time up. And
Nimmo swings at a nasty curveball. 0-2.
Himself into the ground. It's 0-2.
Well, Tony, when your team plays like this, it won't.
Right. Got Brandon out front, too.
Sorry.
Whoa, the splits.
Escobar at third, Canada at first with 2 down. And Kinzer knocks it down. Canada takes off for second.
All right, Canada on the pass ball, on the wild pitch, gets to second base. So 2 men in scoring position. A base hit could score 2.
Takes that right in the middle of his stomach.
Be a wild pitch, advancing
Mike, I would love for him to do that, to be honest with you. I talked about this many times on my channel. I think he should.
1-2 from Liberatore. And another
Ball 2. Good take by Nimmo. Keith, I agree. I think the Mets have to take it 1 game at a time. I think too much we're worried about the following game. It's a bad way to mentally break down the season. You got to play game at a time, especially when you're struggling. Come on, Brandon. Base hit. Ball 3. All right, there you go. Nimmo got back to a full count after going down 0-2. So Canada will be running. Base hit should score 2 here. Big crowd at Citifield on this Sunday Father's Day. And Nimmo hits one to left field. That's going to drop. Go. Run, Nimmo, run. That scores 2 runs. That should be a double, possibly triple for Nimmo. And he's out. That's close. But the Mets get in within 1 run. That is great hustle by Nimmo right there. 5-4 Mets. I'm sorry, Cardinals. They're going to check if Nimmo was out at third.
Mets scored 3 in the second and trailed 5-4.
And Nimmo was out at third, but not before the Mets scored 3 runs in the second, and now it's 5-4 Cardinals. So the Mets get 3 runs back right in the bottom half of the inning. So 5-4 Cardinals. Mullen, I'm not mad at that play at all. I think you have to be aggressive on that play. It had to be a perfect throw. Listen, the big reason why the Mets played well last year was they made the defense make a play. So many times you see defense make plays make mistakes by trying to make a play. When you force the issue, you make the defense make a perfect throw. They made a perfect throw there. Yeah, Andre, listen, I can care less if the game's 1-0 or 14-13. As long as the Mets win, I don't care. Again, I like that play with 2 outs. You go for it there, in my opinion. I think you go for it there. It had to be it's not a bad base running. No. Look, we weren't aggressive enough in the Yankee game the other night, and it cost Nimmo getting picked off at second base. Yes, you do. When you're going for that had to be a perfect throw. It was a perfect relay throw. That's all you can do. You force the issue. I think that's fine. I don't think that's terrible. That was not Brandon Nimmo trying to steal a base with 2 runs down. You don't do that. That wasn't terrible. That was an aggressive base running where the outfielder had to make a perfect throw. He did. You tip your cap. I never am mad when you got to be aggressive there in that situation. For a team that needs to score runs. Very simple. In that situation there, it was bang, bang. It had to be a perfect throw. Walker dove, missed the ball. Credit him for getting up and making a nice throw. He made a nice relay throw. That was a good throw. It had to be a perfect relay. Oh, he might have been safe. I'm surprised they didn't challenge. All right, so the Mets get it within 1. Let's see if Carrasco can get a 1-2-3 inning here. That would be nice. No, Mullen, I'm sorry. For a team, you have to have that's a ground ball. Escobar takes a bobble, but makes the throw 1 out. Yeah, I'm not mad at that play at all. It had to be a perfect throw. Had to be a perfect relay, and then the relay man had to throw a perfect throw as well. And he looked like he was safe in that replay, by the way. It was bang bang. It had to be a perfect throw. I don't mind that type of aggressiveness. Everything had to be perfect.
It certainly tells a story when you look at the unearned runs for the Mets.
So Carrasco got 1 quick out. Let's see if he can get out. 1-2-3 inning is very much needed from Carrasco here. Get your offense back on. Get your defense off the field and your offense back up. It's been a huge problem for the Mets pitching this year. Keith, it's about time. Even though we have been getting a lot of clutch hits over the last couple of weeks, it's been the pitching that's been a problem. Ground ball right to Pete. Flips to Carrasco. 2 outs. So quick 2 outs for Carrasco. Nice to see. Get that offense back up there. Again, for everybody who can't stand this offense, do some homework. Let me know how many games, 70 games the Mets have played, including this. This one is 71. How many games the Mets scored 5 runs or more? I think you'd be very shocked by that. I bring it up all the time because it's worth noting.
Maybe the factor in there was the Jordan Walker factor. Maybe thinking of
Come on, Cookie.
He's got a lot of experience left. He's not going to come up with a proper play.
Ball DeYoung with 2 out. He takes low ball. Well, and to Walker and DeYoung's credit, they made 2 good throws.
Right, and that's what it took. I mean, if DeYoung makes a throw high or the cutoff man's missed, I mean, Brandon's already committed. I like the aggressiveness.
DeYoung popped up his first time up.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. And Paul DeYoung, the Mets killer, hits a solo home run, 6-4 Cardinals. Jesus, Lord. Well, the Met killer of all Met killers, Paul DeYoung. Oh, jeez. Well, can't do that.
I guess we're going to have that kind of game today.
Second home run today against Carrasco, 6-4 St. Louis. And here's Adam Kisner, and he grounds one down.
Ground ball.
Escobar right at the back.
And that ends the inning, but not before Cookie gave up another home run solo to give the Cardinals a 6-4 lead now. Again, everybody wants Carrasco out of the game. I mean, who are you bringing in? Yeah, Mike, that's why I've been saying the whole time it's been pitching. Well, JK, I agree with that. We all need run support. But, he got 2 first outs, two quick outs, and then gives up that home run. Yep, it's going to be that type of game, guys. Again, it's going to be a game where there's going to be a lot of runs scored. It's just very simple. And again, we could take Cookie out, but as soon as we take him out, just know what's going to come in from the bullpen these next couple of innings. Just so everybody knows. Josh Walker's, guys like that. So it's nothing that's going to be, special. So that's the problem. Well, that's the unfortunate. Well, Mike, the problem is the fact that Nogosic, look, the Mets had some options here. And again, it's either Josh Walker or it was Nogosic, right? It was a situation where Nogosic had no more options. That's what it is. And again, losing, Drew Smith also hurts you as well because you need another arm in there. And you can't get it because you can't replace that roster spot. So, and that Nogosic, I believe, was right before the Drew Smith suspension. So, yeah, let's get it. It's going to take a lot of offense, obviously. So, it's only the bottom of the third, and 10 runs have been scored. So, this game's far from over for any team. 2 teams that can't get out of their own way are not making it easy for themselves at all. So, bottom of the third. Mets trail 6-4. I'll be right back, guys. Listen up.
56, he traded away the very popular Red Shandies to the New York Giants with 314 that year and was still a great fielder. That's Ken Boyer, by the way. You see the uniform. Took the Birds off the bat in 1956, and Cardinal fans went ballistic. And by the way, that's Howard Cosell right there. That's got to be in the Bronx at the Polo Grounds. Frank Lane also traded Bill Burton, who was Rookie of the Year, because he felt he had bad eyesight because he wore those glasses. And then he came out and said he wanted to trade Stan Musial.
So the trade itself.
Stan Musial for Robin Roberts to the Phillies.
Really?
And Augie Bush stepped in and said, no, we're not doing that. The next year, the Birds and the Bats were back on the uniform.
And Musial was still the card.
Yes.
Starting Marte leading off the home third. Marte, Lindor, and Alonso is what has been a checkerboard start to this game.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Runs scored in every half inning so far. Marte had a sharp ground ball to the right side his first time up, and Gorman had a nice sliding stop to throw him out. Lots of dads, lots of kids on Father's Day.
Marte ground ball to short and should be one out, and it is.
Throw quickly to get Marte one away.
So just another little add-on to
All right, Lindor coming up. First at bat, hits a solo home run in the first.
Ricky. They said Grant Ricky always looked to trade a player. When he traded Red Shandies, he was 33. Trade a player but he was still good. But on the twilight of his prime, where you can get value back.
I would say trade him a year too early rather than a year too late.
Lindor hits one long but foul.
Too quick that time.
They did that in Cincinnati with that old 30-year-old Frank Robbins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that didn't work. It always work out that way. It might have been, 6 or 7 years too early.
Oh, that might be gone. Oh, God damn it. Just got under that ball.
Lindor feeling powerful on Father's Day. A little bit shy this time. Too high.
Get backs for Lindor from the right side of the plate are completely different from the at-bats he takes from the left side of the plate.
And how would you characterize that?
He's got a longer swing from the right side, left side, excuse me, and more of a low ball swing. He's more level right-handed, and he doesn't step in the bucket like he does on the left side of the plate, or a little bit, slightly to the bucket, which makes him vulnerable to the outside pitch. But he's got a longer swing, basically, Gary, from the left side than the right. And for me, when I watch him as a hitter from the left side, right side, he's a free swinger from the left side, and he knows the strike zone better from the right side, to me.
I mean, switch hitters get so many more at-bats left-handed than right-handed.
Yes.
It's like if you're a platoon player and you're a right-hand hitter, you're going to get 200 at-bats, 240. If you're platooning from the left side, you're going to get close to 400 ABs.
Bobby, I've been saying that for a while. We all been saying that. He should just bat from the right side. He just missed. He just got under that ball. That ball, little bit more of a level swing. That ball's out of the ballpark. Alonso hits ones to right side. Should be an out, and it is. And for the first time today, there is not a run scored in a half of an inning. So Mets trail 6-4. And again, this is a situation where you really can't, take Carrasco out because you don't have no long men in your bullpen right now. With the Drew Smith suspension, Negosa getting DFA'd, you got a lot of guys that could go maybe 2 innings, maybe not much more than that. So, and you can't fill that roster spot from Drew Smith because of the suspension. So you're limited to what you have. Unfortunately. So, but there's a long way to go. You just hope that the Mets don't give up too many more runs so we can try to come back into this ball game. I know people are talking about, what was it, Keith that talked about Diaz and everything like that. Look, the Diaz injury, obviously it sucks because it pushes everybody up a spot. Obviously if you had Diaz, Robinson would be 8, Ottavino would be a 7th. Really, will be your 6th or something like that, and then Drew Smith, who knows? You would have 4 pitchers in your bullpen arms that you can trust. But let's not act like that is the big reason why the Mets are not playing well this year. All right. Again, I keep on saying it. 21 starts this year is the only 21 quality starts this year from the New York Mets starting pitching out of 70 games. That's not even half. It's not even close to half. If the Mets would have had 35, even 40 quality starts from their pitchers out of 70, the Mets would have a better record. It's just that simple. They're 19-2 when a Mets starter goes 6 innings or more. That tells you that that your strong part of your bullpen holds the leads in those games. Where the Mets fail is the pitcher going 3 or 4 innings, and now you got to use the worst part of your bullpen early on, which gives your team no chance of coming back and winning them ball games. Or your better part of your bullpen helping you win games. That's the biggest problem there.
Looks like his father.
All right, Carrasco's out there for the 4th.
I'm sorry. Did you say your favorite bartender?
Yeah. I used to live right down the block from
And Carrasco's pitch count is only 57. So, again, you have to get Carrasco to get through 5 innings at the very least. You're limited in your bullpen because of the suspension. So, You gotta roll with these guys. You have to.
Yeah. No, not me.
I like to get a beer buzz.
No, it's not setting up Joe. Don't know when in the place. That's me and you.
So set them up.
So 3 pitches, 3 balls from Carrasco.
No, I used to have my lunch there a lot before a ball game.
Let's make my baby and one more for the road. 3-0 to Edmund, and that's called strike 3.
There we go.
So Holly's here. Monkey shoulder.
That'd be a nice top 5 list for you. Remember the monkey part? Yes.
And that's a leadoff walk.
So a leadoff walk to Edmund, who walked for the second time today. It's 3 walks now for.
So Quintana made his second rehab start, 2 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings, 46 pitches. So I'm assuming he's going to have 2 more starts before he can come back, which will probably be the first week in July. And John Curtis is now coming into the ball game. So Buck is not wasting no time now. Unfortunately, he tried to get Carrasco at least through 4, but that ain't going to happen. So John Curtis is coming in the ball game. Another dreadful performance by Carrasco, and we needed him to do better. It's just that simple. So, unfortunately for the Mets, they got to use a lot of bullpen, unfortunately. But you know what? You got to win this ball game. This is the type of ball game where you say, "Fuck tomorrow. I don't care about tomorrow. Win this ball game at any means necessary. If this means using your entire bullpen to keep yourself in this game, you do it." And that's the most important thing that I think what you've seen Buck has been doing lately, actually. You've seen that against the Yankees. You've seen it in the first 2 games against the Cardinals. I agree, Julio. I've been saying it. It's not even just Carrasco, though. Let's not act like we're expecting Carrasco to be this, solid starter, right? It comes down to everybody. Scherzer against the Yankees, 4-run lead. Verlander pitched very well, but he's inconsistent. Senga, he'll have a really good start, and then he'll have a start where it's like, didn't pitch well, couldn't get out of the 5th inning. A game like yesterday, he pitched well, just gave up. He made 2 mistakes that cost him the ball game, and that's the problem. Again, it comes back to all the pitchers, right? Nobody is blameless in this Mets rotation. All right. Scherzer has had multiple leads, multiple times, and have given back the leads along with Verlander. So it's been a huge problem. So John Curtis in the ball game comes down to the Mets bullpen, try to keep these guys at 6 so the Mets offense can come back.
The double, he's driven in 1, he scored 2. Edmund at first, a good base stealer, nobody out. And a swing and a foul tip on a slider, 0-1.
You remember John's last appearance came when he was informed Drew Smith got thrown out of the game. He was rushed in. Or suspended.
Well, first ejected, then suspended. Ejected, dejected, rejected.
Rejected.
Is it from Marlo Guthrie's House's restaurant? Inspected, injected.
That's right.
Come on, John, let's go.
Sitting there on the bench playing with the pencils. 2-1 to Donovan, who is now 5 for 11 in this series. Carrasco went 3 innings plus, allowed 5 hits, 6 runs so far, 5 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Two balls and a strike to Donovan.
Second throw over.
2 disengagements, so now Edmund's got a free pass. He's stolen 11 bases this year, including 1 in this series. He's been caught once. Not a huge lead, and not going. It's a call strike. It surprises me. You would think after 2 disengagements, a guy who can steal the base would take a huge lead and be going.
With a 2-1 count on the hitter.
Right, takes a little bigger lead. Not going. And it's pulled toward the hole.
Ground ball. It's a base hit right between the hole.
We'll go first to third. Marte's throw across the diamond is
Oh, close play, but he's safe. First and third, nobody out.
Good speed gets there. The Cardinals have runners in the corners with nobody out.
Well, something that has been not a part of this game for more than a few years with the shift, and that is situational hitting. Marte does everything right, fields the ball, strong throw, but too much speed. You see a nice, exciting play at third, good aggressive base running. Welcome back. And by not running, you kept the hole open. That's a good point.
Goldschmidt, who drove in 2 with a double in the second. Chance for more here. First and third and nobody out.
When you use the bottom of your bullpen, taking out your starter, yeah, everybody want to Carrasco out, but you're going to get this part of the bullpen. That's the problem.
Fouls off first pitch fastball.
Goldschmidt's had himself some nice RBI situations here. Always takes a little pressure off when you got a runner on third that you can with less than 2 outs. I mean, you want sacrifice fly second best, but it eases the pressure.
This one's
Popped it up.
Shallow right.
Marte's lost it in the sun and got it.
Makes the catch.
One out there. So
Is he deking that he's having trouble with the sun?
No, I don't think so. He was having trouble.
all right. So one out, first and third, 6-4 Cardinals. Yeah, Mullen, I agree, buddy.
Behind the players, Marte.
You know, and that's why it's so frustrating with Scherzer, because his last 2 starts, he had leads, 3-run lead and a 4-run lead. You got to hold them. You got to win that game. It's very simple.
With a 2-run homer back in the first.
All right, so Alvarez is giving signs to the infield. Arenado was up. Last at bat, hit a 2-run homer.
Plays this year, and that's what Curtis will be looking for.
See if he can get a double play ball here.
Edmund at third, Donovan.
Danielle, what's up? Daniel, what's up, buddy? Double play ball. Double play. All right, there we go. Good job by Curtis to get that double play. 6-4-3. Double play and gets out of the inning. First and third, nobody out. With Goldschmidt up and Arenado when they get out of the inning. I guarantee you nobody predicted that. All right, so we actually got a pitcher that actually gave up 0 runs. That's nice. So for the first time in the game, in each half of the inning from the Cardinals and the Mets did not score. Now 2 runs down. The Mets got to let's get a lead, guys. Let's go. So it was a nice pitch. It was hit hard, but right at Lindor. So that's exactly what the doctor ordered. So once again, guys, don't forget 8 p.m. tonight. After all you fathers watch the Mets hopeful W, check out the Shea Bridge Show tonight at 8 p.m. We're going to go over this week's games, the Yankees games, the Cardinals series, and we're going to preview the Astros series Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Philadelphia. So this is a situation here where if the Mets win this game, you win a series, that's always nice. You want to win series. Going into the Astros, everybody's predicting a sweep. And why not, right? You know what? Go in there with just the mentality of playing one game at a time. You got Scherzer, you got Verlander in this series. I know Verlander was good last time against the Yankees. Scherzer was bad. You have to go in there and just play your ass off. Because, look, I'd rather lose a series playing well than lose a series looking like you don't belong. And that's the way the Mets has feeling so far. You know what I'm saying? Well, we'll see, Keith. Just stayed over there. And Arenado never touched the bat. Oh, there he goes.
That's an assist. I mean, he never stepped on the base.
Yeah, they're not healthy. Jordan Alvarez is hurt as well. So yeah, I mean, look, let's see what happens. That's the way I see it. All right, Tommy Pham up, bottom of the fourth.
Takes curveball for a strike. Then grounded out to short on 100.
Yeah, Keith. You know what? Why not? Let's slug away today.
Then Alvarez and McNeil for the Mets in the fourth.
Listen, if the Mets pitch, they have a chance to win. It's just that simple. I don't care who they're playing.
John Curtis to get the Mets out of trouble in that fourth inning.
I'll say. We'll see if that has an effector in the outcome of this game. And they're two big guns up. Goldschmidt and Aaron Oz.
All right, come on.
Hopefully, that umpire had fans swinging on that pitch.
1-2 coming. And the curveball wrapped around.
Whoa, where was that pitch? Well, call that a ball. We'll take it.
Pham spent 13 years in the Cardinals organization, 5 of them in the big leagues.
Come on, Tommy. Ball 3. Good eye. I love how Tommy Pham just stays in a box.
Every piece of motivation at his disposal. 3-2 coming. Out the way. Great story in The Athletic the other day about the meeting that Buck Showalter had with some of his veteran players when some of the youngsters got called up to talk about how playing time was going to be meted out. And so out to the right.
Right to the right field. Another hard hit ball. Tommy Pham, man. Every ball he hits is hard. 2 balls hit hard today, right at fielders. That sucks. That's a situation where you say, get him next time.
Like one of the next 7 games. And so Tommy said,
Oh, Steven Matz is running in the bullpen, looking like he's warming up.
the last month and a half, that's exactly what he's done. He's proven everybody wrong. He's been the hottest bat in this lineup now for a month. Francisco Alvarez fly to center his first time.
Very considerate, I thought. I never got that kind of consideration when I was young.
Oh, you have to treat players differently now, Keith.
Well, I mean,
You can't burn wrap them.
there was no, you're getting an off day tomorrow or you're in the lineup. It was always when I was young, I had no idea. When I was spot playing, Red never.
Keith, we all can hope.
Start tomorrow. Get your rest.
Shut up and look at the lineup card, kid. That's what I did. If you cover the ballpark, you look for the lineup card. Alvarez throws one to left.
And another one hit right at a fielder. Jeez. 2 hard hit balls. One at the right fielder, one at the left fielder. Gotta hit them where they ain't. It's what they always say.
So for you folks might not know, probably most of you do now. I mean, they literally have analytics to say this hitter, it's high velocity. This guy, it's good breaking ball. So they try to match those guys against this pitcher that they will face.
And even more so, they try and match swing paths to pitch location. Hit him again.
And Nimmo gets hit again.
McNeil gets hit for the second time. And that'll get him at first base with 2 outs. 9 times now McNeil's been hit this year.
Similar spot.
Yep. You hit him right on the wrist.
About the same spot. X marks the spot.
All right.
The black spot. Cut around.
All right. Escobar is up.
His fastball, he's not a
Come on, Eddie.
pitch, but he has not
Show me a little bit of power.
strike him. And if you can't tell these
Right down the left field line.
strikes him,
Oof. Going for that one. Just missed it.
Escobar hit one to the warning track in center field and went off Edmonds' glove for a triple. I thought maybe Edmund would play a little deeper this time, but he's not. Like just about the same spot.
Escobar had a triple last at bat. Hit it hard to center. Let's see if he hits one down the line here.
Well, you can leave that curveball when he's late. Run yeah, well, it's interesting. He's a tall guy that has a very short stride. That's why he's got a good breaking ball. He's just getting on top of it for the most part. When he lags behind, when he hangs it like that.
Curveball's up and away. It's 2-1. So the Braves were down 5-0 to the Rockies. It's 7-5 Atlanta in the 4th.
Oh my!
Every day. They are just.
Are they hitting home runs in that game?
All B's at Rosario so far.
Ball 3 to Escobar.
So far in that series, they have outscored them 33-11.
Here, you said they made a lineup change.
That's a 3-1 count. Nice pitch. He don't probably gonna try to throw a fastball by him here. Let's see.
3-1 to Escobar.
Ball 4. All right. First and second, 2 outs. Counter coming up. Another runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Don't have to do too much here. A base hit should score a run. Oh, Mark, let's go.
Walked in that 3-run second, scored a run. McNeil at second, Escobar at first.
Kind of swinging at the first pitch. Nice pitch to swing at. Right down the middle. Just a little late.
He's been under hitting fly balls and fouling him back on pitches that he's right on.
Ooh, nice pitch.
Against the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Count was down to count his first time up and worked out a walk. Liberatore struck out only 1 today. And the curveball.
Ball up the middle, and that's going to score a run. 2-out RBI by Canna. Good job. And Escobar goes to third. 2-out RBI by Canna. There we go. 6-5 Cardinals. There we go. I love those 2-out RBIs. Didn't look like it was hit hard, but it was hit in the right spot.
To his left and right, well, that's definitely his range. And another one down in the strike zone.
Good at bat.
He's putting the pole. He just made this. He felt he couldn't get to it.
All right, Brandon Nimmo. Come on. Ooh, Nimmo going for the fences on that first pitch. Nimmo 1 for 2 with a 2-run double. Come on, Brandon, base hit. Chris Stratton warming up in the bullpen for the Cards.
Up in the Cardinal bullpen. Escobar dancing down the line at third.
Ooh, throwing fastballs to Nimmo. 0-2. Jakey, we've been doing that all game. Be nice to get ahead.
First 3 runs in the second. Canada's RBI single here in fourth. Run Canada on 0-2. No.
Oh, nice pitch. That was a knee-breaking curveball. Nimmo strikes out on 3 pitches. The Mets get, once again, down by 1 after, 4 innings. You know, Mike, I you know what? That's a good question. I totally forgot about him. But Rydens, the kid that the Mets got from the Rule 5 draft, from the Yankees, that hard throwing bullpen guy, he's a guy that should be coming back soon. So he might be an option for the Mets in the bullpen in the coming weeks. Let me just make sure if I'm saying that right. Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, Steven Rydens. Steven Rydens, he was with the Yankees, and the Mets got him from the Rule 5 draft. Steven Rydens, yeah. That's a guy that he might be back soon. Okay, yeah. So Steven Rydens is in the bullpen for the Mets, I believe. Let me see. Yes. So on Thursday, the Mets reinstated right-hander Steven Rydens from the IL and optioned him to AAA Syracuse. So that's a guy that the Mets are probably going to bring him up. Steven, I think the draft is – that's a good question. I was going to do a live stream during the draft. Let me check. Let me just check. I think it's – let's see. It's July 11th, so it's next month. Yeah, Josh Walker is a nice addition to the bullpen. He's going to be good. A second lefty is always nice. Steven Rydens, I'm telling you right now, if he pitches for about a week or 2 in AAA and he pitches well, don't be shocked if you see him. He's a very hard thrower. He has problems with walks, but if he can control it, he can be another arm in the bullpen that the Mets desperately need. So Mets trail by 1, going to the top of the 5th. A long way to go. Yeah, July 11th is the draft. No problem, Steven.
Action shots of the handheld cameras. Such an artistic.
All right, John Curtis is in the 5th. First pitch, pop up to Nimmo. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Puts it away. That's the third time in the last 4 innings that Carrasco or Curtis has gotten an out from the first batter on 1 pitch. Curtis did a great job. Came into the 4th, gave him a hit to Donovan, and then retired Goldschmidt, and Arenado got a double play to end that inning. And he stays on for the 5th to face Jordan Walker.
Well, that game was hanging by a thread with those 2 bombers up. Curtis.
Once again, guys, if you haven't already, please hit on that like button. Uh-oh, that's not good. I think Marte got it. Oh, it's gone. Wow. Wow, that ball traveled. 7-5 Cardinals. Jesus. I can't believe that ball went out. Well, just so everybody knows, this year, the right field wall has been pushed in 10 feet for that new suite. That's a fly ball last year at Citifield. That's a pop-up. Jeez.
That's strong.
Third home run for the Cardinals today.
Wow.
Now at 99 home runs this season.
Thought Marte was going to have it. We just ran out of room.
He thought so too.
Remember, guys,
To start the season,
that area was around 375 or so. Ever since they put in that suite this year, it took off a couple of feet from the warning track. So that ball's probably caught at the warning track at the wall last year.
philosophy is there in the Cardinal organization.
But every time the Mets get close from 1 run, the Cardinals get another run back and 2 outs.
2 out.
Walker very still as the ball comes in. Watch his hands, just a little take back. Very little take back. Very little follow. I mean, when you watch that swing, you say to yourself, there's so much room to throw there. And he's still good right now.
Paul DeYoung who had a long home run his last time up.
Yeah, you know what? Marte didn't get a great jump on that, but he was there.
Very little.
Well, Steven, you know what? That's you could say that about every team. You just never know. That's why, just saying one or the other, like, oh, look how good this roster is. It means nothing. The game's not played on paper. You got to play the game. That goes for the Padres, that goes for the Mets, that goes for the Cardinals. 3 teams that everybody thought should easily make the playoffs this year. And every one of those teams are out of the playoffs at this moment. The game's not played on paper. And there's a reason for that.
Paul DeYoung homered his last time up, his 7th Citifield home run. He's only played 15 games in this ballpark. He's at 7 home runs. 1-2 coming, and breaking ball foul.
His first big series in the Mets, so they can say his highest slugging percentage as a Mets player.
See, the Cardinals today in their notes put a minimum 120 plate appearances, and that moved DeYoung to the number 1 slot. How to play games with statistics.
The first big series he had though was in St. Louis, right? You 2 did it. Oh, yeah, couldn't get him out.
Like 7 extra base hits in the series.
It was an ungodly series.
And last year he wound up back.
Correct, JP.
Couldn't hit a lick. Right. He had 157 last year in 77.
Yeah, Andre. I mean, sometimes you know what? You can have the players on the roster. You can have them on paper, but that doesn't mean it's going to work out on the field. You just never know. How many years in a row have the Padres? How many people picked them to make the World Series or win the division? They haven't lived up to it either.
Finished the second inning of work. 2 out and nobody on. 3-2 to DeYoung.
And he strikes him out.
Side retired.
but not before John Curtis gives a solo home run opposite field to Josh Walker. I'm sorry, not Josh Walker. To Walker, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. But it's the bottom of the fifth. You would think it would be like the eighth inning, but fortunately for the Mets, it's not that close yet. So there's a lot of game left, and the Mets are scoring runs. Once again, guys, another game where the Mets score 5 runs. No, the Dodgers are very surprising, actually. The Dodgers are surprising because they made no moves in the offseason. You know, they lost Turner. They didn't sign both Turners, right? They didn't make any big-time moves, yet they're playing extremely well. Even though the Dodgers, the Mets are only 5 games from the Dodgers, so the Dodgers are not running away with anything either. From the first wild card spot, the Mets are 5 games. The Mets are 7 or 8 games out of that. But again, I'm not worried about that. But the point of the matter is, the Dodgers are surprising. I didn't think the Dodgers were going to be as good as they were. I mean, they're not. I mean, they might win 90 games. I'm telling you right now, guys, there's not a lot of teams in the National League that are going 95 games. There might be 2, the way it's looking. The National League, that's why when people are like, oh, the season's over. No, it's not. I'm sorry. When you got a National League that is bunched up and all you need is one good week, you'll be right back right at the top of that wild card mix. It's just that simple. And that's why it's laughable when people say, oh, the season's over. Well, if that's the case, then everybody that the Mets are around, the season is over as well. Because it takes one good week, right? The Phillies had one good week, and it brings them right back in the mix. The Giants had one good week. It brings them right back in the mix. Yeah, Steven, I don't care about injuries. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that excuse from the Dodgers. Because the Mets also didn't have DeGrom last year. They didn't have Verlander for the first month of the season. Mike, but it's not too many teams. Look at the difference between the team that's just missing a wild card spot to where the Mets are. It's like a 2-game difference, 2.5 game difference. It takes 3 or 4 games, and you're right back in the mix. It's going to fluctuate all the time. I don't like when people say there's too many teams ahead of us. That's not when you're only 2 or 3 games apart. It's not that different. Marte up. Mets trail 7-5. As bad as the Mets played, they lost 1 game in the wild card standings in the last 14 games. Just think of that. Mike, no, I don't think any of them are good teams. I think they're just as bad as the Mets. Maybe a little bit better, but not much more than that. I mean, we've seen most of those teams. Are the Giants really a good team? No. They're average, but they're better right now. The Phillies, the same thing. The Mets manhandled the Phillies, so are the Phillies automatically better? No. Fly ball to center, 1 out. Those are teams that are in front of the Mets that have had a 10-game stretch where they had a good 10-game stretch. Unfortunately, when they had the good 10-game stretch, the Mets had a bad stretch. That is the difference. And the Mets, in total, have been either 3, 4, 1 game out of the wild card spot. It's been fluctuating a lot. And again, all you need is a 7-game stretch where you go 5-2 and you're right back there. So it's the 5th inning, 7-5 Cardinals, 1 out, Lindor up. Lindor is batting lefty now. What you hope are the good swings right-handed, and the better eye right-handed helps him with the left-handed at-bats. There goes that. Swinging for the fences, uppercut, swing from the left side. Come on, Frankie. Ball 3. This is what I want to see from Lindor from the left side. I need him to be more patient. You got Alonso behind you. Your goal is to get on base with less than 1 out, on less than 2 outs. That's got to be your goal. There you go, and he did it. Took a walk. One thing Lindor last year, he found ways to get on base for Alonso. It was a big thing last year, and that's what Lindor has to do a lot more of. Because right now it brings a tie run to the plate with Alonso up in the 5th. Come on, Pete. Show that power, baby.
How hard is that, Keith, being out for that period of time and then face Major League pitching?
Well, I never missed 8 games. When I got hurt latter part of my career, I was out for a significant amount of time. There's no substitute for live competition.
Ball low. 1-1.
Take all the BP you want.
Steven, I think they have. I just think that, they never done it since he's been a Met. So I'm not sure why they don't do it, but at this point, they're probably never going to do it.
I think there's no substitute. It's like, to me, Gary, it's like riding a stationary bike or doing the actual running cross country.
Yep, Steven, he came back in 10 days, where everybody projected 3 to 4 weeks, maybe longer. Quick healer. I'll take that.
That's where it's at. That's where the field comes.
Oof, that was a low hanger that Alonso just got under. Come on, Pete.
Vicious cut.
So we're at first and 1 out. It's down by 2 runs in the 5th. There goes Lindor. Swinging a miss. Kinzer's throw to second. Not in time.
Alonso strikes out. Lindor steals second. Alonso missed a pitch right down the middle.
Boy, he just beat Pete with that fastball.
But expected for a guy who hasn't seen line pitching in 11 days.
Lindor gets a very good jump.
They just showed a little stat over there. Well, not really a stat, a little graphic. Well, let's see what Tommy Pham could do with 2 outs here. That the Mets have had, they're 17-14 at home, and they had the second least home games in Major League Baseball. Very interesting. So the Mets had the second fewest home games to start this for the first 2.5 months of the season. So the Mets have a lot of home games in the second part of the year. Yeah, I'll take it. Come on, Tommy.
One, two, coming.
Oh, yeah. Get out, baby. Yeah, tie game, baby. Tommy Pham, opposite field, 2-run homer to tie the game. There we go. Tommy Pham, the most hottest hitter in the Mets lineup, ties the ball game in the bottom of the 5th, and the Mets are back tied in a new ball game, 0-0. Tommy Pham. How many Met fans wanted DFA his ass 3 weeks ago? That was a shot to right center field. 3 hard hit balls and finally got it away from the fielders. That's a way to not let the fielders catch the ball, hit it over the wall. True, Mike, but 17-14 is also not that bad, considering the fact that you only had what? A lot less home games. And it's been, remember, we started the first 7 games on the road this year. So again, there's a lot of games at home in the second half. So if the Mets play better at home, you got your fans behind you. Let's go. Oh, damn, he missed it. That's gonna drop. All right. Alvarez flies it out to end the inning, but not before. Tommy Pham crushes a slider to right center field to tie the ball game. And once again, guys, these are little things that nobody talks about with Francisco Lindor. We love to kill him, but this is the same guy last year, and he's been doing this year as well. His on base has been down, so not really much this year. Last year, a little thing that nobody likes to talk about was Francisco Lindor getting on base with less than 2 outs for situations like this. That happened a lot last year. Lindor scored a ton of runs last year because he got on base. So once again, guys, we're going to the top of the sixth. The Mets and Cardinals are tied at 7. So it's back to 0. It's going to come down to the bullpen. It's just a matter of, can you get to the better part of the bullpen for the Mets with a lead? That's the most important thing. And we'll see what happens. No, it's all right, Joe. I haven't been doing a lot of streams. I've been extremely busy. So, I'm going to be doing, again, the show tonight with Hayden for the Shea Bridge Show. Tomorrow, there's going to be 2 live streams. It's going to be at 6 o'clock, the Mets Roundtable podcast with a couple of the guys. And then 8 o'clock, around 7:45 for the Mets Houston game live stream as well. So multiple live streams tomorrow as well. So make sure you tune in for both of those. It's going to be a long day. And let's hope that Max Scherzer can show the hell up. Mike, I tend to agree with you. Like I said, I like the Josh Walker situation. Bringing him up. I love that move. You got 4 more innings. Well, yeah, technically 4 innings. 6, 7, 8, 9. You got Josh Walkers of the world. You got your Rayleighs, Ottavinos, Robinson. You got those guys. You got your 4 guys here. Let's get back in this. Let's win this ball game, right? It looked bleak early on, but the offense is picking up the pitching, right? That would be nice. Oh shit, really? I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry about that, man. Prayers to your girlfriend, buddy. Jeez. I know about losing a parent. It's not easy. Trust me. I don't know if most of you guys noticed, but I lost my mom in 2015. So I know that feeling, unfortunately. But hopefully she's doing good, and prayers, buddy, prayers. All right, so John Curtis is coming out. This should be right to Nimmo. 1 out. Joe, then me, you, and your girlfriend know how losing a parent feels, and you know what? And you're younger than me, so I understand. I was 27 when I lost my mother in 2015, so I know that feeling. It's leading towards the unfortunate passing, and then it's the after effect. It freaking sucks. It's shit. I know, man. Guys, I know how it feels. Unfortunately, I do. Mother or father, it doesn't matter. It's a parent. It's tough. Jeez. I hate hearing that, man. I seriously breaks my heart.
And not only that, but they're 5 games out of the last wild card spot, and they've got a huge road trip coming up, facing the defending World Series champions tomorrow night in Houston. The Astros have had problems of their own lately. They've lost 8 of their last 11. They've got their biggest bat, Yordan Alvarez, out of the lineup, but they have the best pitching in the American League, even with 3 of their starters on the injury list. 3-1 to Edmund, and he walked for the 3rd time.
Another walk by Edmund. Not the guy you want to put on base.
Road ahead for the Mets, brought to you by Infinity. So the Astros only 7 games over 500, 4.5 behind Texas in the AL West.
Jesus.
And then
sorry about that. That's a rough way to go.
The Mets come home to play the Brewers, who smoked the Mets in 3 games in Milwaukee earlier this season. Brandon Donovan's already 3 for 3. And he takes a fastball strike from Curtis. So the Astros have Lance McCullers out for the year. Luis Garcia out for the year. Jose Urquidy on the injured list. 3 of their top stars.
Come on, John, let's go.
The best pitching in
So
baseball.
Buck is really using Curtis here, stretching him out. Already 30, going to be his 30th pitch here. Nice little double play ball would help that out.
Altuve's just starting to round it.
I agree, Steven.
Great game yesterday.
I agree.
But he had been slow starting after coming back from a broken wrist.
Nice pitch.
Now, Tucker is probably the most dangerous hitter in their lineup right now. 9 home runs, 40 driven in. But Alvarez is their big guy. He's their Alonso, their Aaron Judge. And he will not play in that series.
They throw their best pitchers, though, against the Mets.
Well, I mean, we knew Framber Valdez was going to be great, right? The left-hander. Christian Javier is now a star.
Yeah.
And they've got 2 budding stars now in their rotation. Hunter Brown, the Mets will see tomorrow night, and J.P. France has come up and pitched for them.
Yeah, Joe, that's what sucks.
From Michigan, modeled his career after a Tiger, Justin Verlander, and then they were teammates last year.
And of course, Verlander will be going up against his old mates.
Absolutely. Happy Father's Day to all.
Second game of that series. After winning the World Series and winning a Cy Young with the Astros last year.
Come on, John.
1-2 to Donovan.
Got him. Nice pitch. Strike 3 on the outside corner. 2 outs. Good pitch.
Cardinals have not liked any of the calls that Rosell has called.
Exactly, Joe. Sometimes,
And with them.
and Buck is coming out to take out Curtis for Dominic Leone.
2-2.
So, as much as we have killed the Mets bullpen this year, they haven't been as bad. Their ERA has been running down a little bit. Yeah, Leone's been really good. Really good. And, you know what? Sometimes, that's a Billy Epler move, guys. That's a guy that he picked him off the scrap meat here. That's something that, we would like to kill Billy Epler. But he brought in Leone, who everybody was like, who the hell is this? And, he's been a big part ever since that Yankee game. Even before that, but that Yankee game was really telling how much he really came through for us, and even in the Cardinal series as well. So it's something that, the little moves sometimes can make a big difference. That's why when I talk about, the Nationals, the Braves, the Phillies, they made small moves in their World Series run. And I'm not saying the Mets need to make small moves to get to a World Series. They got a lot of work to do. But, sometimes it takes a couple of small moves. Besides the Cespedes move, everybody talks about that move. But it was the Juan Uribe moves. It was those type of moves. The Reeds, those type of guys that changed everything. The Tommy Pham. That was – how big is that pickup for Epler, right? People killed that move. When he signed Pham. Oh, they signed Tommy Pham because he was the last one left. Well, Mullen, you can praise him because he's already done a good job. Again, they could bring in freaking, Rayleigh here, who's done a good job and give it up. Yeah, you know what, Mike, that's a great point. He's done that over the last week with Dominic Leone. And you know what that means? That means Buck is starting to trust him. And you know what? Buck needs more people to trust in that bullpen other than Rayleigh, Ottavino, and Robinson. Especially when your pitcher gives you, 3 1/3? Yeah, that's what I think it was, Joe. But, people wanted other guys. Like I said, it could have been a Justin Turner. But, again, the Mets didn't need another infielder. DH guy that has another infield. We needed that. We needed a utility outfielder. And that's what Pham is. All right, so Dominic Leone is up with Goldschmidt, 2 outs, tie game, 6th inning.
4th outing of the last 6 days for Leone. And he missed his way with a cutter for ball 1.
This is the first game of the series.
Come on, Dominic, let's go.
On 8 pitches. Stranded everybody so far in the Mets uniform.
Edmund at first. It's not once since getting bored.
Nice
Schmidt goes
pitch.
after slider, misses and throws
Come on, Dominic, let's go.
a two-run double in the second. Another RBI chance in the fourth. First and third, nobody out. He flied out, and then Arenado grounded into a double play, and John Curtis was able to get out of that jam. Curtis matched his career best by going 2 2/3 today.
Hey, Ron.
Away, 2-1. Carlos Carrasco went 3 innings plus, 6 runs, 5 earned on 5 hits. Curtis went 2 2/3 so far, charged with 1 run and 2 hits. And now Leon trying to finish off the top of the 6th in a 7-7 game.
All right, challenge him with that low fastball. 1-2. Ron, I'm doing well. I do better if the Mets win. Make my day a little bit better.
Bucket. Wow, on the lid.
Okay.
Oh, too many hanging sliders in the bottom of the ninth. Was lefty reliever? Is that what you're saying?
And he goes left.
I agree, JL.
Goldschmidt 3 career at-bats against Leon. 2 hits, including a home run. There's 2 disengagements.
All right, 2 disengagements. Wonder if Edmonds going to run here on a 2-2 pitch.
He did not run. See if he does this time.
It's just reminded of
I agree,
my
yeah.
son Clapp. First base,
But you can just look at their pitching.
He takes off. Catches high.
Ooh, close. Good throw, but big lead. Steal second base. Nothing you can do there.
Allowed him a walking lead, which is something you never want to do. And that was a strong throw from Alvarez, but just too good a job.
The pop-up slide. See that much these days.
That's the new Brooks slide.
Reminds me today would have been his 84th birthday.
That was very close, too. Come on, Dominic. Almost got him with that slider.
Birthday of Sir Paul McCartney is 81 today. My bad, it says there. And it's also 57 counts for our Dave Freed. 57 I just think Luke Rock, Paul McCartney, Dave Freed. All the same set.
57 days. Definitely in that order. That was my non-roster number when I got invited to camp.
Got to be careful hanging a pitch here. I challenge him with a fastball.
3-2.
Ah,
Outside ball.
one with the slider.
2 walks.
Damn
in
it.
the inning. And Arenado coming up with 2.
Calculator. Nice.
Number 5.
It was actually a very flattering photo of you then.
All right, Arenado is up with 2 men on, 2 outs, tie ball game in the top of the 6th. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button if you haven't already. And don't forget, it's on your screen. Shea Bridge Show tonight with me and Hayden, 8 p.m. We're going to recap the Cardinals series and the Yankees series and preview the Astros and Philly series coming up this week coming. So make sure you tune in for that. And, of course, make sure you tune in early because our rants have been well advertised over the last couple of weeks on the Shea Bridge Show.
All right, it's a dangerous at bat. Here's Arenado.
Yeah, I know, but you know with these stupid rules, which I don't like these rules.
Very dangerous at bat.
All right, Dominic, come on.
Arenado, the home run.
Not an easy spot for Leon here. Goldschmidt and Arenado, 2 best hitters in the lineup.
Scary spot right there. Edmund at second, Goldschmidt at first. Arenado 0 for 4 in his career against Leon. And a
Oof.
swing goes to the fastball.
Swung over top that fastball. Good pitch.
Most RBIs since the start of 2015. It's not even close. See Jose Abreu with Houston. He's finally starting to hit a little bit.
Nice slider on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch. Come on, Dominic. Let's go. That was a nasty slider right there.
Situation. So use the middle of the field from the other way. Looks really cool at me right now.
Come on.
Leon they had 1-2.
Oh,
Bounces
oh.
that slider. A good block.
Try to put too much on that slider. 2-2.
Never not if you notice.
Well, if you're going to miss completely. You don't want to hang that pitch.
No fear from Alvarez. Another great stop.
Two on, two out, 2-2 to Arenado.
That was a nice high fastball. I love that pitch. 97 from Dominic Leone. Telling you guys, that pitch, man. I love that pitch. Now, is he going to try to go slider on the low and outside after the high fastball, changing the eye levels? Let's see. Maybe go back to the high fastball. I'm going to go with slider on the outside corner. Oh, high fastball. Got him, baby. Good pitching by Dominic Leone. Gets striking out Nolan Arenado with 2 on and keeps the Mets tied with the Cardinals going to the bottom of the 6th. Good piece of pitching by Dominic Leone. Went with the fastball and challenged him up high and gets him out. Dominic Leone has been a gem of a find from Billy Epler. We all want to give Epler a lot of shit. But sometimes you got to give him credit for these little moves that nobody cared about and nobody talked about. Christina, how are you doing? Happy Father's Day to your husband. I agree, Robert. How about scoring like 6 runs in this inning, please? I can kind of relax a little bit. But again, Dominic Leone, man, what a find by Billy Epler. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mike. So once again, guys, Mets, Cardinals tied in the rubber game of a 3-game set, 3rd game of the series. Mets are looking to take a series before they head out on the road to Houston and then to Philadelphia. I really wish I could have went to Philadelphia. I know the 7 line is going there. I bought a ticket with the 7 line. I can't go, unfortunately. So I had to sell my 7 line ticket. Kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? Life happens, right? Yes, I want a touchdown. We need Aaron Rodgers to throw to Wilson for a 90-yard touchdown pass. I know if you're not a Jets fan, I'm not a Jets fan, but I thought I'd bring that up. So once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button. We're getting into the later part of the game here. Mets found their way back multiple times after trailing multiple times in the ball game to get back. And guess who tied the ball game for the New York Mets? None other than the best hitter on the team in Tommy Pham. How about that? Joe, I'm happy he sent down, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of Mark Vientos. I think he's positionless. He kind of puts the Mets in a bind because all he can do is DH. And I think that's a problem, especially with the Mets bench at the moment. Vientos does not work out here. Let him play every day in AAA and bolster his trade value. That's the only thing I can say. All right, come on. 2-0 to McNeil. Bottom 6, tie game. Ooh, McNeil tries to rip one, but hits it foul.
Demonstration of Mark Canha being hit by a pitch, celebrating and setting the Mets' single-season record for getting hit by a pitch.
Come on, Jeff.
There is celebration in the pain of getting clubbed. 3-1 down to McNeil. That's to where I can the foul. Oh, straight yes. Oh, for sure. Doesn't mean Junior likes it. No. A little gentler.
Ball 4, leadoff walk from McNeil. Good at bat. Like to see that.
Second one given up by Stratton. Mets 7, 8, and 9 hitters have had 7 plate appearances.
LRF, what's up, buddy?
McNeil, Escobar, and Camp.
Oh, LRF. Music to my ears. Music to my ears. And Marmol is coming out to take out the pitcher. So commercial going to happen. So yeah, guys. Oh, so I'm not even. Oh, so the Yankees are losing it once again. And let's be honest. I want to say something, and I said it earlier in the stream. The Yankees have the second highest payroll in Major League Baseball at what, 283, 284? They are a bad team without Aaron Judge. At least the Mets showed life without Pete Alonso in games other than the Yankee series. Right? When Pete Alonso went down in the Pittsburgh series, the Mets scored a lot of runs. Mets scored a decent amount of runs in the Yankee series, and they scored a decent amount of runs in this series. So it shows you, yeah, Andre, I don't think Mauricio's a good fielder at all, to be honest with you. He makes errors everywhere. Shortstop, his natural position, third base, second base, left field. The Mets don't want to play him in left field. There's a reason why they're trying him in left field. Because he's not a very good second baseman or third baseman. Unfortunately. Again, we know he can hit. But again, it comes down. You've seen how the defense can hurt you in a ball game. Firsthand, we saw it today. Defense can kill games for you. You can't have this guy playing the field every day. Just because he can hit doesn't mean hitting is the only thing you do in baseball. You also have to field. So that is about it. Well, I've said that for years. But you know what? It is what it is at this point, guys. Yeah, Mike, I saw that. Yeah, he's not an outfielder. I'm telling you this right now. He's gonna end up being Lucas Duda in left field. It's and Daniel Murphy in left field. It's just that simple. Probably worse. He's a guy that, again, this is why the Mets don't want to bring up these guys. You can't have too many guys that are one-dimensional on your bench or the start. Because when you need guys to fill in, to give guys days off, or the pinch hit, pinch run, double switch, defensive replacement, you have to have versatile guys. All right, Escobar up, nobody out. Tie game in the sixth, man on first. McNeil got a walk to lead off the inning. Come on, Eddie.
And then, I think, was it Lindor that followed? Not Lindor. Wouldn't have been Lindor. Hit a bullet right in the
Yeah, Mike, that's a great one right there. George Foster.
Escobar struggled and walked today. McNeil at first with nobody out. 7-7 game in the sixth. And Escobar fouls one away. It's 0-2.
Nemo hit the hard ground ball. The bullet.
Escobar is so much better as a utility player. Go on, Eddie.
Got Don Drysdale's number.
Take a base hit here.
Chris Stratton went in 8+, a lot of hit, 2 walks, a strikeout, a home run, charged with 2 runs so far. That's had just 5 hits today, but 7 runs.
Oh, stay fair, baby. Stay fair. Oh, just foul. God damn it. Little bit out in front of that pitch. Yeah, Steven, and they have a minus run differential. We just went over it. Minus 20 run differential. You know what teams have minus? The Phillies, the Mets, and every other bad team in the National League. So it's amazing what they're doing with a negative run differential. That usually takes care of itself. They're going to come back to earth eventually, to be honest, because having negative run differential usually is a recipe for disaster at some point. Come on, Eddie. Straighten that ball out, baby. Well, Jesse, I'm not surprised by that at all, to be honest with you. Ground ball. Slow enough. It might not be a double play. Oh, safe. Oh. Got the force play at second, but it was close. Almost messed that up. Let's see if they challenge. Nope. Got him out at second. So 1 out, man on first.
Probably McNeil.
Just got him by a step.
Because he had the hurdle of the ball.
Easy they are.
Didn't really lose a step, though.
That ball's rolling around in Gorman's hand. That's why he had to double clutch. So Escobar.
All right, Mark Hanna up. 1 out, 1 on.
Who has walked and singled. He's driven in a run. And he takes a fastball just off the plate for ball one. Mark walked and scored in the second. Singled the center with 2 out of the fourth to drive in a run. That's a score of all of their runs with 2 outs today.
How about that stat? I don't know if you guys heard it.
And Canada fouls off.
The Mets have scored all their runs with 2 outs today. Something that they have not been good at all this year. So that's a great sign from the offense. 2 out RBIs. They do, dude. They do. You can hate them, but you got to respect them.
And the slider goes low.
You know, I always said this, and this is my, as I do my predictions every year, especially with the Braves, I never predict the Braves to lose a division until somebody actually takes them off the mantle. Got to give them that respect.
There goes Escobar.
Escobar running, and he steals it. Nice stolen base by Escobar. Smart stolen base right there with 1 out. Runner in score position. Good job. Smart base running now. 25 stolen bases in a row without being caught by the Mets.
I mean, you really have to come up with a metric for the catchers because they had no chance on most of these stolen base attempts.
Well, but I'm not quite sure why, if you haven't thrown over twice, guys were able to get such enormous jumps.
Come on, Canna. All right, another ball, another walk. First and second, nobody out. Brandon Nimmo coming up.
That's 5 walks for each side, 10 walks in this ball. You had a generation of baseball without stolen bases, Gary. You have a generation of pitchers.
Yeah, that's a lot of runs.
How to keep runners close on the bases.
My question is why the new rules make it easier for guys to steal bases before the second pickoff. Right? I understand once you've had 2 pickoffs.
Come on, Brandon.
it's automatic.
Ball 1.
But before that, why are guys able to get a huge lead?
It was always easy. It's just that baseball had chosen intellectually that we're not going to steal bases. It's not worth stealing bases unless you steal them.
You know, I love this stat. So the
Exactly.
pitching coach is coming out. Let me just mute it until the pitching coach gets out of the way and the game can restart again. So last week, the Mets were 22nd in runs per game. They were a little over 4. Over the last 2 weeks, they're 4.41 runs per game. Basically exactly where they were last year. So looking at that, it turns out that the offense is actually not a problem. It could be better. Every offense could be better. But when you score 4.5 runs per game, you should be better record-wise than where the Mets are. And it comes back to the pitcher. So they were 22nd about a week and a half, about right before, from the 1st of June. They were 22nd. Now they're 17th. They went basically a quarter of a run better in that 2-week stretch. All right, Nemo's up, 2 on, 1 out. Tie game.
And they will foul someone off his foot. Nothing in 1.
Yeah, Canna has those stretches. Canna won't hit nothing for 2 weeks and then have like a 6-game stretch where you can't get him out. That's what Canna is.
St. Louis Cardinals in the 80s, where if you didn't control the
All right, Brandon, come on.
there's no chance. And these jumping, walking leads, I'd have a field day. I'd have 40 pickoffs a year.
And you had a great move, too.
Come on, Brandon.
Into our 2 best.
And Nemo hits his leg again. 2 pitches in a row where he fouls the ball off his leg. Yeah, that doesn't feel nice.
The umpires have learned to give hitters
trainer will come out as well. That'll buy a little bit of time. It's not buy time. It's to check on your athlete, see if he's all right.
And Baca, the assistant athletic trainer, saying that it was okay. No intervention necessary.
All right, Brandon.
Carrying the go-ahead run at
Get
second.
that 2-strike swing, hitting that ball the other way.
Nemo settles back in with a 1-2 count. Starling Marte on deck.
Take a base hit here.
Arenado's backed up with 2 strikes. Big hole on the left side of the infield. 1-2.
And that's low, ball 2.
Down at 99 miles an hour from Galante. 2-2. Nemo with his 2 RBIs now with 32 for the year.
Nemo ground ball might be a double play. Safe. Good hustle by Nemo to beat the double play. First and third, 2 outs with Marte coming up. So even when Nemo beating up his leg with 2 foul balls off his leg, he beats it out barely to keep the inning alive. Mets have scored all 7 runs with 2 outs today. So see if they can do it again in the 6th. Always hustling Nemo. Come on, Starling, base it.
When you have to turn and make that long throw, forget it. Now Marte is 0 for 3 today. He takes a strike. Marte started the day with an 8-game hitting streak, but today's grounded out twice and fly out. Marte 2 hits and 2 career at-bats against Galante. Go ahead, run at third with 2 down.
Good eye, good eye.
Interesting, Arenado playing in on the cut of the grass, not moving back, but not too far. That's a little better. He was in on the cut of grass.
The outfield is shading Marte to right center. So a lot of left field line available for him to hit that ball. Oof. Hanger, Marte missed. Come on, Starling. Let's go.
See, when Arenado moves this far back with the speed of Marte, I don't like that. You got a fast runner at the plate. I don't want my third baseman back that deep.
Galante ahead on Marte 1-2.
Good eye, good eye. Don't swing at that crap.
Stopped by Kitzer. 2-2.
Well done.
First and third, 2 outs, tie game, bottom 6, 2-2 count to Marte. Mets have scored all 7 runs with 2 outs today.
2-2 coming.
And he strikes him out with a slider. Marte does not get the job done in the 6th. Still tied at 7. Top of the 7th coming up. 7-7-7s all around. 7-7. So Mets do not score in the bottom of the 6th. Good chance there. That's something that we missed from Marte this year. Last year, the guy you wanted up in a RBI situation was Starling Marte. Unfortunately, this year, he's just a little off. You really do wonder if those 2 surgeries in the offseason kind of got him off to a really slow start this year and still trying to figure out everything here, even though he's been hitting a lot better. Yeah, Mike, exactly. He's been terrible. I mean, the one guy I wanted up last year every single time in a big spot was Marte. That guy seemed like he got a big hit every single time we needed it. This year, he had 2, those 2 surgeries. He had the groin surgery and the core surgery. Those 2 surgeries, they're not easy surgeries to deal with, especially you're dealing with a groin and a core surgery where you're using your core to swing a bat. Yep, I agree, Steven. Yeah, Marte's just. I still think Marte's just not healthy, like not 100%. It just feels that way because like you could see like his bat speed is basically the same. It's a little slower, but not much where you can say that's the issue. It's just that I think he's still injured. I think he's or not injured, but still coming back from those surgeries. I agree, Mike. Once you believe in your body, that your body can do it, I think that's when everything else comes together. All right, so top of the 7th, Mets Cardinals tied at 7. Who is coming in for the Mets? Is it going to be Raleigh, Ottavino? Let's see. Who is the guy? Excuse me, guys. Brooks Raley in the game in the 7th. Listen up, guys. I'll be right back.
Especially when he has to come in and face Norman, Walker, and Carlson was a switch hitter. He threw 15 pitches yesterday. Gave up a run. Everyone's available in this game.
Nolan Gorman leads off in the 7th for St. Louis. Cardinals led 5-1 in this game, but the Mets pushed uphill, got tied on Tommy Pham's home run in the 5th. Neither team scored in the 6th. That's the first full inning without a run today. Gorman's 0 for 3, and he's now 0 for his last 18. And the slider off the play from Raleigh, and it's 2-0. Gorman, then George Walker, and Dylan Carlson for St. Louis. Cardinals have 7 hits, the Mets have 5. There's been 5 home runs in this game, 3 for St. Louis, 2 for New York. And Raleigh misses down, and it's 3-0. John Curtis and Dominic Leone did a nice job at relief. Between them, they worked 3 innings, gave up 1 run. And Raleigh trying to keep the game tied. And of course, it's strike 3-1. Walker homered his last time up, waiting next. Huge crowd on this Sunday afternoon. And that's outside ball 4, so Raleigh threw a 3-1 slider with this one. Then Gorman is on base to start the 7th.
Lead off walks. Or walks in general.
Now 6 walks issued by Met pitchers today. 5 walks issued by Cardinal pitchers. And here's Walker, who threw 1 of the walks in the 1st.
Sorry, guys. Had to get a drink.
Home run. The opposite way in the 5th.
So the Mets are going to have their big 3 pitches here. Raley, Ottavino, Robinson. They got to come through here. Come on, Brooks.
21-year-old who grew up in the Atlanta suburbs.
Ground ball. Should be a double play. Double play. All right. The 4-4-3 double play. Exactly what you needed there.
That's around as tailor-made as you're going to get.
Steven, I agree with Acuna. Last year, you can tell it was a little bit in his head. Not trusting that knee, which is, normal.
Well, bat right-handed for the first time today, with 0 for 3 from the left side. Set for a higher
James, all we can do is hope so from the Mets perspective, right? It doesn't matter if it's a bad team or not. It takes a series, a good series, for the team to say, okay, take a deep breath. We won a series. Let's get going.
Carlson had the pinch hit single against Raleigh yesterday. That brought home the
Nice
insurance
pitch.
run of the 9th inning for St. Louis.
I'm glad you said that, James. I think that's a great comment there, to be honest with you, when it comes to that. A series win is a series win. Look what the Braves do every year. The Braves dominate bad teams. Like, there's about 20 to 25 games over 500 against bad teams. That's how you pad your win total. And then you can be a 500 team or a little bit better than a 500 team against good teams. And, the Braves did that last year, too. They weren't great against the teams over 500, but they were just good enough against teams against 500, but they were dominant against bad teams.
Sure. We all going?
Well, Steven, I'm one. I tore my ACL in college. My second year of college, I slid into second base, and at the time at the time I was playing in college, in the early 2000s, or about I'll say like 2008, 2009, we were told to slide feet first. I tore up my knee sliding second base. I caught a cleat. Oh, nice play by Counter. Get there, Pete. Get there, Pete. Oh, they called him out. What the hell? Trey James, that would be lovely. Let's see. Did he get him? Oh, wow. That ball's not. Yeah, he's definitely safe by a step and a half.
We have to fix this one without replay. That's a Don Denkinger call. There should be occasionally.
So they're challenging the call. Obviously, he's going to be safe. At least I hope so. Because if he's not, then we got some problems here. Somebody in the replay put a bet on the Mets. That ball was hit hard though, easy. That wasn't an easy play. That ate him up. I mean, look, he should have got it, but that ball was hit hard. Like I was saying. Yeah, he's safe, obviously. Wasn't very hard. But yeah, I tore up my knee in college. I actually lost my scholarship before that. Oh, no, bro. I'm saying you've been better this year than you were last year. But it's not staggering. It's like, 3 or 4 games over 500 against good teams. You've dominated bad teams. And look, that's what you're supposed to do. That's not a bad thing. That's not like throwing the Braves under a bus. That's crazy. Mike, I would kill it. I'm telling you right now. I'm made for that crap. I'm telling you. I put in my audio to WFA many times. I even do holidays. I told them I don't care. Nice pitch. Come on, Brooks. Dangerous guy here, the young Met killer. Oh, no, Mike, I don't. Trust me. I send it all over, to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you a quick story about that. Come on, Brooks. Big at bat here. Mike, he was around his 40. He was I think he was like 40, early 40s. Those are my guys, Joe and Evan.
Well, the Cardinals stand is to get picked off on a 3-2 out. I guess the Cardinals sin is the opposite of the Cardinals way.
Come on, Brooks, let's go. Oh, no. Okay, foul. Woof. Got out in front. Jerome watch. You know, no. I apologize. I don't. When was that, Marcus? I don't remember that. Maybe I should. Ground ball should end the inning. Good job by Brooks. All right. Bottom. All right. So bottom of the 7, tie game. Hey, there goes Grant. I know Grant was just texting me. Yeah, I'm glad Craig Carton is gone. I never like look, Craig Carton, he's polarizing. That's why he gets ratings. People listen and watch him because they hate him. And that's something that yeah. Jerome. Oh, the caller. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, him and the Smooths used to get into it all the time in the overnights. Yeah. Listen, I work overnight, so I listen to, Summers and all, now unfortunately Keith McPherson, who I can't stand. I actually ran into McPherson at Citifield last year at the Subway Series. And I told him, I shook his hand. I go, listen, congratulations, because that's a great gig to get. Obviously, if you get into radio as a full-time at WFN, you made it. Let's be honest. I congratulated him. I told him stop being a homer for your Yankees. And, I wish him well because, nothing personal. But, I don't like you. I told him. I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah, exactly, Marcus. I don't like the fact that last year when the Mets took 2 at Citifield against the Yankees, he was like, oh, no big deal. And then when the Yankees beat the Mets 2 in a row in Yankee Stadium, he acted like they won the World Series. So, yeah, easy. Benigno is great after any loss that team he roots for. Mets, Jets, Knicks, doesn't matter. It's beautiful. But I'm telling you, if one of his teams, if the Jets find a way to win a Super Bowl, honestly, I think Benigno would have no problem dying the next day. No, the day after, because he has to talk about it. Like he he talks about it all the time. I feel so bad. All right, bottom of the 7, Mets Cardinals tied at 7, rubber game of the series. Mets looking to take a series before heading on the road to Houston, where Grant is going to all 3 games. Grant's going to try to root on his Mets to hopefully a series win against the Astros. Remember, if the Mets win the series against the Astros or sweep the Astros, it's not giving credit to the Mets. It's all giving credit to Grant. Oh, yeah, I don't like Brandon Tierney either. But Brandon Tierney is a good radio guy. Craig Carton, I just don't like him because he's not a sports guy at all.
7-7 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Today they beat the Nats 4-2.
All right, come on, Mets, let's go. Agree, Mark. I love that we're talking about WFAN. So today they gave out the orange Mets bucket cap, which I like. There you go, Grant. I hope you kill him. Gonna try to catch you on TV. All right, Lindor's up, leading off the 7th. Jerome was funny though. Yeah. Yeah, that was what, Mike, late 80s, right? Because I know Francesca and Coleman were together first before it was Francesca and Dog. Come on, Frankie. Ooh, just low. Yeah, JJ's getting a ton of money from that podcast thing he's doing. He ain't coming back. Yeah, I want Salicata to go with Evan. I thought that would be great. But the problem is Salicata got that SNY gig, so I don't know if he can do it. Base hit. Come on, Frankie. Beat it out, baby. Oh, what a play. Wow. That's, jeez, nice play. DA is not a bad one. I like DA. Either one would be good for Evan. Damn. He got him by 2 steps too.
It didn't look pretty for Donovan, but got it done.
And Lindor was rushing up that line too, trying to get that hit. Wow. Good scoop too.
Baseman by a multi-positional guy going in. Wow. First base. It's like
All right, another pitches change for the Cardinals. So yeah, guys, 87. Let me did the show from LA. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it should be Salicata or DA. No, Big Mac's not ready, but you know who? Big Mac should get the overnight if they give it to Salicata. I think Big Mac should get the overnight. I like Big Mac, even though he's a Yankee fan. I think he like secretly roots for the Mets when they're not playing the Yankees. Yeah, the problem with Salicata is that that gig is 2 to 6:30, and that means he can't do the SNY gig. And I do believe the SNY gig is paying him more. Unless they're going to give him a massive raise, I don't think he's going to leave SNY for his full-time gig. That's a hard gig to lose. A top spot in TV, the one of the big shows on SNY, I don't know. That's rough. But then again, it might come down to Salicata saying, I'd rather go back to part-time on SNY and doing that afternoon drive. And he'll have better hours, right? Because all Salicata talks about in the overnight is the hours suck, which I understand very much since I do it. Well, Joe B on his Saturday show said if they asked him, he'll think about it. Bringing Evan and Joe back together, they had good ratings. They weren't there long enough together. Oh, how great would it be with Evan and Joe in the afternoon drive with this Jet season coming up? A lot of people have been talking about Don LaGreca, who I really like, who I think is getting wasted on the Michael Kay show. If Don LaGreca wants to leave Michael Kay, I think they would give it to LaGreca. He's good. And him and Evan would be pretty good. And that would stick it to Michael Kay, huh? Woo-hoo. That would make me feel nice. All right, guys. Bottom of the 7th, tie game. Pete Alonso coming up. 1 out in the 7th. I don't know, Easy. WFN is kind of skimmy with their pay. But you know what it is? I do think if Salicata is offered the afternoon drive, he'd take it and just do part-time role on SNY. LaGreca is all right. I think he's really good. Come on, Pete. He went over the wall. I like LaGreca. I think LaGreca gets thrown to the wolves too much because of how bad Michael Kay is.
Pete back in the lineup after missing 8 games with a bruised wrist, and he fouls away the fastball on 0-2. Andre Galante working in at third in relief. No runs, no hits, a walk, a strikeout. Hagen now the 4th Cardinal pitcher of the day. Mets have also used 4. We're in the 7th. 0-2 coming.
And Alonso strikes out. 2 outs.
So the 3 pitches, cutter, fastball, slider. Hagen takes care of Alonso. 2 out.
All the way, all the pitches for Hagen.
Get Pete to go chase and see right there. And he knew he chased.
Now Tommy Pham, who tied the game.
All right, Tommy, let's go, Tommy. Hottest hitter in the Mets lineup. Ground ball right to the second baseman, and it ends the inning. So top of the 8th, tie game. Probably going to see Ottavino in the 8th. So, of course, the Mets don't make anything easy. Marcus, I like the overnights until I have to go to sleep. But yeah, it was great with Summer, with the Smoozer and Tony Page. That was some great. And you know what? I'll never forget Tony when the Mets was it when they won the National League Championship? When they won the pennant, I think it was. No, it wasn't the pennant. When the Mets won the division, I believe. Yeah, I think as soon as the Mets won the division, I believe I went straight to Modell's because that's when Modell's used to open up very late overnight to get the T-shirts and all that fun stuff. I remember Tony Page was on the fan when I was going, and I actually called Tony Page when I was going. I was like, "Yeah, Tony, I'm going to Modell's right now to pick up my championship shirt." He was laughing. It was good times, fun times. I missed that overnight. But you know what? Salakhan has done a good job overnight. I don't like Keith McPherson, but a lot of people seem to like him for some reason. I guess the new age fans, I guess. Marcus, I've been saying that for 2 months. The offense is not the problem. I just gave you the stat. 4.5 runs per game should be more than enough to win you enough ball games. You shouldn't be this bad. Oh, boy. So, once again, guys, don't forget 8 p.m. tonight, me and Hayden, the Shea Bridge Show, going over this series and the Yankee series and previewing the Astros and Philly series coming up this week for the Mets. Big 2 series on the road for the Mets here to try to get back in and get back to where they should be. Alan, you missed a lot. Yeah, I know. I remember that too. But that was something going on with Cohen and Murphy. They didn't like each other at all for some reason. So, here we go, guys. Top of the 8, Mets, Cardinals at 7. Excuse me, guys. Long day. Marcus, they're 19-2. So how about this? David Robertson in the 8th. Very interesting.
Span of Molina's career. Look at the disparity between the number of stolen bases they allowed in every other team.
Yeah, Mike. So, Marcus, the Mets are 19-2 when they get 6 innings or more from their starters. That's a stat right there. That's the difference. That's the difference in the season right there. So, by the way, David Robinson in the ball game in the 8th. I like this move. Oh, no, he just gave up a home run. Oh, popped up. Sorry, guys. That swing looked like a home run. He hit it off the end of the bat. Woof. So, I like this move by Buck here.
Nobody on, and now maybe somebody could throw a strike to Tommy Edman. 3 times walked all 3.
I wonder if Bucky's thinking, I'm going 2 innings with Robinson here.
Orioles finally beat the Cubs today, 6-3, snapping the Cubs' 5-game winning streak.
Mark, probably not good, to be honest, because the Mets bullpen for the first month and a half was terrible because the starters couldn't go deep. So of course the bullpen's going to be terrible. Come on, David. Nice pitch. I love this move by Buck, bringing Robinson in the 8th. You know, if you get a dominant inning in the 8th, try to get this ball game in the 9th inning with a lead.
Cincinnati's got a big influx of young players, a lot of energy. They're probably the fastest team in the league now. They're a force to be reckoned with. 0-2 to Edman. And he gets one of the
no.
Well hit. Back goes Marte on the warning track.
All right, Marte, good job. Wow. That ball is traveling the right field. Woof. That was close.
Against the right-handers the last couple of days, and he nearly hit one out to the opposite field.
Around 370 right there.
Woof.
Field. The other day, did the open out.
Even Robinson couldn't believe how far that ball went.
You know, get you an extra 6 feet or so.
So we shortened up a little bit in front of that club in right field, speakeasy. Brandon Donovan's got 3 hits.
That scared me off the bat.
He's scored 2. He's driven in 1. So Robertson's retired the first 2.
Come on, David.
Just 6 pitches.
Popped it up. Come on, Eddie. Get there, baby. Yeah. Nice catch. Only 8 pitches to get out of the 8th inning for Robinson. You're going to see Robinson in the 9th if the Mets have a lead here. And you know what? Even if the Mets don't have a lead, I'm bringing Robinson back out for the ninth. David Robinson, you saw his lips. Oh shit! Nice catch by Escobar to end the inning. Mets need to take a lead here because you can bring Robinson back out for the ninth for the save. Once again, guys, Mets 7, Cardinals 7 going to the bottom of the 8th. Yeah. Grant, whiskey, couple of shots of fireball. I'm all in. Grant, I really wish I could have made the trip. And you know what? I looked at that Astro series. It's on my days off. I couldn't finagle it with my schedule and all these vacation days I'm going to be taking in July, August, September for the series for the Mets. Yeah, unfortunately. I wish I could have, man. I would have been in your bar right now. I'm not going to lie. Marcus, we all need a Mets win today, man. And yes, happy Father's Day for everybody who's tuning in. Hopefully everybody's having a good Father's Day, and make sure if you drink up, enjoy yourself, be safe though. And hopefully the Mets get you a W on Father's Day. Yeah, Grant, I apologize, man. It would have been great. I tried to work it out since 2 weeks ago. I was trying to figure it out. It's just I'm busy. I got a lot of stuff to do, even on my off days. I tried to work it out. Listen, I bought a plane ticket. Luckily, it was a refundable ticket, just in case something popped up last minute, and I would just get an Airbnb or something like that. Worst case scenario. But it just didn't work out, unfortunately. It worked out the schedule on my off days too. Pissed me off. Yeah. Grant, London, yes, hell yeah. We are going to take UK over. Alan's funny. No comment. I don't want to. All right. Alvarez up in the 8th. Tie game, bottom of the 8th. Alvarez up.
Alvarez hit the ball in the air all 3 times today.
Come on, Mets. Get the lead, baby. Come on. What a game to win for the Mets after Carrasco gave you nothing.
Jeff McNeil on deck, and then Eduardo Escobar. And Alvarez slices one foul, 1-2.
Alvarez has been under the ball a lot lately.
7, 8, and 9 hitters up behind.
Marcus, I'll be there.
7, 8, and 9.
I'll be there on Saturday and Sunday. I'm going with the 7 line on Saturday in Boston. I'll be there for Saturday and Sunday.
Hagen ahead 1-2.
Got under it. God damn it. Come on, Frankie. Jeez.
1 out.
3 balls in the air today for Alvarez.
4. Good. What am I thinking?
Alvarez has been a little bit lazy with his swing. A little bit more of an uppercut, a little bit more launch angle that he's been doing the last couple of weeks. I don't really like that. Come on, Jeff. Got a little power in that bat? Ooh. That's not even close, Blue. Come on.
Boy, Arenado just really played aggressively in the entire series.
I went to Fenway Park about 10 or 11 years ago. The Omir Santos game. All those years ago. With my dad. Haven't been there in a while. It'd be nice to get back there. Come on, Jeff. Base it. Right at the second baseman, 2 outs. Damn it.
So over Hagen's phase 4 retired on 4 matches 12 and 11. He won 5 games this year. The Cardinals go 7 and 16. And tie game for bottom of the 8th.
Marcus is a lot of fun. Ton of Met fans there. Come on, Eddie. Hit one in that Coca-Cola corner.
1-2. He's stolen a base. He's driven a run. He's scored a run.
Jakey, that would be nice, but I don't want to leave it to that. Let's get the lead here and win it in the 9th. Ottavino warming up in the bullpen. I wonder if the Mets get tied in going into the night, Ottavino is going to come in.
Maybe you get the night. See. 0-2 coming. And that's the
Ooh.
just off.
Just same pitch he called a strike the last at bat.
Yes, he does. Throws mixes in the changeup against the left-handed hitters.
That's right. Just got a piece of that changeup to stay in the attack. Mets had to fight uphill today. They were down 5-1 before they rallied. This game's been tied since the 5th with VENMO. And goes to the backstop.
Just a bit inside.
That was one of those where Verlander was not going to miss over the plate with the fastball in.
Canada would be next. Two coming. Escobar pops it up back.
Get out.
And that'll sail back
Out of play. You know, this is a situation where I agree with Buck. Use all your bullets in the bullpen to win this ball game. You worry about tomorrow. You'll figure it out. You pray Max Scherzer has one of those games where he goes really deep. You got to win this ball game. Any means necessary. Everybody in the bullpen's on deck. Ah. Get out. Get out. Oh. Nice catch. Mets don't score in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 8th. Here we go. Damn it. So top of the order is coming up for the Cardinals. I wonder what's going to happen. Are they going to bring in Ottavino or bring in or keep Robinson in for a second inning? So once again, guys, 8 o'clock tonight, me and Hayden are going to be breaking out both of these series down the past week with the Yankee series and the Cardinals series. So tune in for that. And also we are going to be breaking down or doing a preview of the Astros series coming up tomorrow, starting tomorrow, and of course the Philly series later in the week. So check out that at 8 o'clock tonight. Okay, so we're going to the top of the 9th. Mets, Cardinals tied at 7. Mets came back multiple times to get back in the ball game against the Cardinals. Two teams that, let's be honest, desperately need this series. You know, the Cardinals, as bad as they are in a terrible division in the Central. So, you know, they need the knockoff series here to get back into the Central. The Mets, on the other hand, are trying to stay afloat. And they both desperately need this series. So we'll see who's going to prevail. Hopefully it's the Mets, obviously. But once again, don't forget to please hit on that like button. And again, the partnership with Shea Hello Media, a proud partnership that I'm very glad to be a part of, is helping me bring my content to more and more viewers. And I appreciate that a whole lot. So that's going to be a great partnership going forward. So make sure you follow him on Instagram and Twitter as well. And the 9th inning is about to start. I believe Ottavino is in the game to start the 9th with Paul Goldschmidt leading off the 9th. Adam Ottavino is in the ball game. Paul Goldschmidt and Arenado coming up in the top of the 9th.
You know, what's interesting for me is that he went right through Goldschmidt, but we've seen in the series how intelligent Goldschmidt is and how he makes an adjustment. Let's see if he does it today.
Certainly Buck had the option because Robertson threw only 8 pitches in the 8th inning. That pitch since Wednesday, he could have stayed with Robertson.
You know, the problem that's going to be if the Mets don't score, you know, if the Mets don't win it in the 9th here, you know, again, you got to get out of the top of the 9th. But, you know, if the Mets don't score in the ninth, the 10th inning. We don't have a lot of pitchers left. Kevin, how you doing? Hey, Kevin, what's up, buddy?
Listen, every at bat's different. You have a familiarity with Ottavino.
Popped it up. Marte should have room. 1 out. Good job.
You know you're in for hard work again. You're a right-hand hitter, no matter what kind of hitter you are. A great hitter. These two guys here, Arenado and Goldschmidt, you know you got the work cut out for you. You're going to have to pick one half of the plate because he's just so nasty on right-handers.
Jordan Hicks, who got his first save since 2019 yesterday. And Giovanni got
All right, another big batter here, Arenado. Went deep earlier in the game.
Back in the first, and he goes after a first pitch changeup, 0-1.
Arenado's just New York, except for the 2-run home run back in the first inning. It's not treated Arenado well.
1 for 13
Come on,
in the
Otto.
series. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in his career against Ottavino.
Well, that's why, Jakey, I don't like the runner on second in extra innings because you can't. How is it a home field advantage when the top the road team gets that chance first? It makes no sense.
Bradley Robertson and now Ottavino.
One thing Ottavino is doing right now as a run is making sure he's not leaving that slider over the plate. Still a lot of sliders off the plate.
Come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking Ottavino. Ah. Left the fastball right over the plate.
Fastball got flat. Got behind Arenado. Went with the fastball again.
He got Goldschmidt up in the strike zone, but watch where this one is. This is middle.
Right down the middle. Gotta get up in the zone on Arenado.
Gorman fouls one off 1-1.
Fucking Christ.
Fourth home run of the day for the Cardinals, their 100th home run of the season. Started the day third in the National League in home runs, and they put on a display today. It's fought uphill from 4 runs down to get even. Now they're down a run in the ninth. They'll have Canna, Nimmo, and Marte due up in the bottom of the ninth. And it looks like it's going to be Jordan Hicks again to try and get the save.
God damn it.
Cardinals got a lot of trouble closing out games. Ryan Helsley is on the injured list.
I can't stand Ottavino.
They went to Hicks yesterday.
Look at this. 9 losses when scoring 6+ runs this season, most in Major League Baseball. That's a problem. Christ almighty. Fucking Ottavino.
And the ball down, and that's where he likes it. That was the difference with Goldschmidt and Arenado. Look at that ball, mid-thigh.
You couldn't put that on a tee better.
Fastball that didn't sink.
Jordan Walker has one of the Cardinals' 4 home runs today. And he takes a fastball strike.
That's a good shot of Arenado. Probably keeps his head down on the ball more than any hitter in the game. That extra count. Bookend home runs for Arenado.
I agree, Andre.
5 home runs allowed for Ottavino this year in 28 innings. Home runs have been a huge problem for the Mets. They've not given up an even 100 home runs this year. Right at the bottom of the National League. And Walker takes changeup down, and it's 3-1.
I can't stand Ottavino.
Showed a lot of run differential for
Can't stand Ottavino. I didn't like him last year. I don't care how good of a year he had.
Afternoon here.
I never trust the guy. Never. Fucking walks him.
Ball 4. So Walker's on. That's 7 walks given up by that pitchers to go with the 4 home runs.
Fucking bum. Yeah, easy. That was on a fastball. He left it right over the plate. Yeah, Grant.
Cardinals came in.
He goes back to old Ottavino. That's what it is. The guy's not a good pitcher. He had a career year last year. We came back 3 times in this freaking ball game, and we're on the verge of losing. Look, you see McNeil shaking his head. The Mets have lost 9 games this year. 9. With scoring 6 runs or more. That's a disaster. That's all about pitching. Marcus, I thought so too, but you got to remember, right? You can't kill Robinson either. You can't blow up his arm. Ottavino should get out of this inning. You shouldn't you have to worry about that because either way, I don't care what anybody says. Ottavino most likely would have came into this game if the Mets didn't score in the 9th. So it would be a problem no matter what inning you bring this guy in.
He had Walker going back to the bag as that pitch was thrown.
Well, it's the timing of it. He wants to go back right when Ottavino is thinking of throwing the ball to the plate. So he'll fake back. There he goes. And then Ottavino will throw.
And Walker runs, and the throw by Alvarez is not in time.
He's out.
Did he come off the bag? Or maybe he came off the bag. The ball was safe by Phil Cousy, and Walker's got his 3rd stolen base. He got an enormous jump.
Yes, he did.
Well, he learned from the first time. He didn't go back this time. He went back and took off.
Right.
That long left arm stayed on the bag until his foot could get on.
Oh, boy.
Close, though, right?
I always just don't like that head first slide.
His 12 stolen bases Ottavino's given up in 28 innings this year.
Well, you better only give up 1 run
It's been
here.
a problem for him his entire career, but now because of the new rules, they're really using it.
I put him in a tough spot, that's for sure.
One to Carlson. With Walker in scoring position. Cardinals looking for an insurance run now, and Carlson takes fastball outside. 2-2. Two coming. This is with the cutter, and it's 3-2. Paul DeYoung would be next. Jordan Hicks is all warmed up in the Cardinal bullpen.
And that's no guarantee.
He's not been a closer for most of his career. He was 103, but he can be erratic. He's back-to-back days. We'll see how that goes. But
And he strikes him out. But not before. Nolan Arenado gives the Cardinals the lead in the top of the 9th, 8-7 Cardinals. Hicks is coming into the game to close the game out for the Cardinals. The Mets will have up 9-1-2. Canna, Nimmo, Marte to try to, at the very least, tie this game, bring it to extras, or get a walk-off to win the ball game. And honestly, how fitting would that be? Both teams suck. Both teams don't deserve to win. It's ridiculous. Really is ridiculous. Again, We can, would you bring Robertson out for the 9th? Sure. But come on. I mean, Ottavino could have came in for the 8th and give up the lead and give up the tie game anyway, and give up the tiebreaker run, and then what? We would have said, why is he in the 8th? It's just a situation where no matter who comes in the ball game, you can't trust them if it's not Robinson. Even Rayleigh struggled a little bit. It's a huge problem. It's ridiculous to me. Sorry, the group chat is going on hard right now. We're out of Scully. You can take Chapman and bring him wherever. I don't want Chapman. Chapman is good in non-pressure situations. He's pitching in Kansas City. There's no pressure. I don't want that guy anywhere near my team.
102, 103 miles an hour is what you're going to see.
Yeah, easy, but again, you bring up Ottavino over there. He got Goldschmidt. It wasn't Ottavino's, slider that he hung. He threw a fastball right down the middle. All right, so very interesting. Daniel Vogelbach is pinch hitting for Mark Hanna. Well, it's either going to be a lot of boos or a lot of cheers. Yeah, I agree. I don't like this at all. Hanna can get on base just as much as Vogelbach can.
Hit the throw with a pitch and then struck out 3 in a row to get the save.
Oh, call that a ball. Okay. Why not Beatty? Because Beatty is not very good against guys that throw this hard. Easy? I wouldn't even think so, to be honest with you.
It's too fast for the umpire to see.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
103, 101, 102. Picking up with 3 digits.
Oh, nice swing there. 104 miles an hour. Jesus. Well, all 3 pitches he called were all wrong, no matter if they were ball or strike. Scully, he does.
Struck out Marte with 3 sliders to end the game yesterday. 1-2 to Vogelbach. And a late swing foul.
Oof. 104. My God.
Right there. And so, right
I don't even know how you hit that pitch. That's a hard throw, man. Holy Christ.
Vogelbach spends his time out.
Now that was a definite emergency hack. Stayed in the at-bat.
Come on, Vogie, get on base, baby.
1-2 coming. Just got a piece of
I don't even know how you hit those pitches. How he's fouling them off is beyond me. You can't even see that pitch. And that was a 103 cutter. That's insane.
Oh boy, that's barely hanging in there, that gas.
And the breaking ball hit to center field.
No. Fly ball. Oh, he just missed that slider. Just got under it. That was a good at bat. That was a good at bat for Vogelbach. Wrong part of the ballpark.
6 straight fastballs. Throw
That was a good at bat for Vogelback, though. He just hit it in the wrong part of the ballpark.
He was struck out by Hicks yesterday. It was a 2-run double today, 1 for 4. That fastball right by him, 104. I mean, he's coming out the second day, pulling harder than he did yesterday.
Yes, he is.
Oh, what a slide. Jesus Christ. How can he hit that? Holy Christ. Fastball, and then he throws an 86 miles an hour slider right over the plate. Wow.
This is down 1-2.
Nah, Hicks been throwing that hard for a while. And trust me, they're checking him. Trust me.
His career, he's averaged 5.3 walks per 9 innings, 6.4 this year. But he's coming throwing strikes yesterday and again today.
That might drop. Yeah, that's a base hit. All right, Brandon, good job. Wow. 104 miles an hour and gets the bat on the ball and it falls in. Hit them where they ain't. What was that exit velo? 50? Jeez. That must have hurt his hands. Arenado almost had that too. Come on, Starlin. Put one in the seats, baby. End this game. Come on.
Stolen a base since early in April. He hasn't tried to steal one since he got thrown out in Detroit. Here's Marte.
Oh, that ball almost got away from the catcher. Eventually, with Hicks, he's gonna blow out his arm. You can't do that forever. At least not for a long time. But use him while you can. Come on, Starlin. Oof, nice. Jeez. 103 sinker. How do you hit that? I wonder if Nimmo's going to steal. Nimmo, ever since he got caught stealing that bad base running era, he hasn't stolen anything. Oh, oh God. Ah! And the Mets lose a series to the Cardinals, and that is probably the worst way to lose, of course. Can't lose worse than that. That's the way we lose. Again, it's hard to hit, but you can't lose that ball game. Sorry. You came back in this ball game out of fucking Vino, can't fucking do anything right. Showing Alvarez with his head down. All the players' faces are down. Yeah, I know. Alvarez looks like he's just had it. He's not happy at all. And you know what? Alvarez, I feel exactly the way you feel. Alvarez sitting on the bench with his hands on his mouth like this, pissed off. And you know what? We agree. Should have bunted. I don't know. Would you want to bunt with 104 miles an hour coming at your face? I don't know about that. This is a beaten down team that shouldn't have lost 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. Mets are 33-38. Mets lose another series going to Houston. Grant, can you pitch? Yeah, you ain't kidding. Yeah, it's just frustrating, guys. I don't even know what to tell you anymore. It's the same old nonsense. Pitching. I don't care who's in the game. Pitching blows these games. You score 7 runs and you lose. What else is there? So the Mets had to score 9 runs to win the ball game. You know, double plays here and there, it doesn't matter. You score 7 runs, you should win a ball game. Once again, the Mets lose 8-7. Pitching completely destroys another game. Starters, bullpen, it doesn't matter. With that said, the Mets lose 8-7. Mets are 33-38 on the season. I'll see you guys tonight for the Shea Bridge Show with me and Hayden, 8 p.m. tonight. everybody, I guess have a good night. Sorry, all you fathers out there, for not getting the W. The Mets did not get the W for us, or for you fathers. With that said, I'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight. Everybody, have a good night. Let's go Mets. I don't know. I'm frustrated, guys. You know that. I know that. So tune in tonight at 8 p.m. for the Shea Bridge Show. Everybody, have a good night. Let's go Mets. I'll see you later tonight, guys.